Repurposed.
Lies. Lies.
Streaming, it will begin soon.
Oh, did it crash?
Well, no, just died.
No, because usually it moves on the bottom.
Mm.
Oh, it is on. Okay.
Yay.
Just because we can't see
everybody.
it doesn't mean that it's not real. Here, no, hold on, no, don't move, Will. Don't move, Will.
Yep.
Look at my new torso.
There you go. There you go. Yeah. Here we go. Hands.
This is a supreme torso experience. So.
Holy shit! This overlay. Wow.
Oh, yeah. It's so cool. Look, it has our fucking names on it and shit. All right, Precious Channel. It is I, your friend Jerriford K. Horkims, also known as Tycho Brahe. Across from me, my noble opponent, soon to be ground into ash, Kiko Villaseñor, also known as the Kiko or the Kiker Zord. This
Zord
is literally Will from...
literally Will.
Literally Will.
Yeah.
At Literally Will on Twitter, who is sort of from, not really. That's not a real thing. Don't go there. It's probably a pervert. It's the internet.
I look forward to that. Just be like, I didn't know you owned an ice cream truck.
Yeah,
I'd be like, well, you know,
a fleet.
a fleet of them.
But this is how it goes. He is from Privateer Press.
I am.
Which is a company that is near us that makes the War Machine, or the war game that I have played the most. I've played lots of different ones, but I find myself coming back to this one a lot. And they have a new version of it that I've only played a couple games of, but I know for a fact that you will help us pick up on the new rules.
I will do my best.
Right? You've been in this scenario before.
I have. I've taught one or two people how to play the game.
I believe it. I believe it. At PAX, I'll see you guys there a lot.
We do PAX Prime every time.
Exactly. But so there's probably a lot of people in the Precious Channel that are not aware of the situation. I mean, as far as war games go, this one is pretty easy to pick up, but anything that you haven't done before is impossible. And it will be nice to get some help from you, Will. So, I mean, historically, we have each rolled a dice, and the person with the higher number goes first.
Yes.
Is that what we're doing now?
Would you like?
This remains mostly true.
Would you like to iterate the ancient ritual? I've got a 2.
2. Already great.
Already
results.
awesome. Great stream material.
All right.
All right.
Jerry will take it with us.
That's
2s
6.
it is.
Now
you will decide.
Now, Will.
All right.
Tell me this much.
Okay.
This is my deployment zone, and in 3.0 Mark III War Machine, I can go up to 7 inches from my side.
Correct.
Right?
So if we're doing this by the book, you won the roll, so you would choose to go first or second.
Yeah.
And then, assuming that you want to go first, which why wouldn't you?
I do.
Kiko would get to choose his board edge.
Okay.
Now, if he wants to be a jerk, he could make you move. Chances are he's probably just going to stay where he is, though.
Chances are.
I have all that shit,
Obvious.
and also I've seen you making micro adjustments to the terrain for your
Oh,
own
okay.
benefit.
So we already have this set up. So yes, as first player, you get a 7-inch deployment zone from your table edge, and Kiko will get a 10-inch deployment zone from his table edge.
So that's new. That is not how it used to work.
It did not work that way in the basic game. However, the 7 and 10 split for deployment zones actually came out of a lot of work we did with our organized play.
Oh, at the
And
Journeyman
Steamroller,
Leagues and stuff?
Journeyman Leagues, and Steamroller specifically, which is our standard tournament format. So if you got any store that has War Machine Horde, chances are they run a Steamroller tournament.
Exactly.
The scenarios there, in order to kind of minimize the advantage that the first player has over the second player because they get to move first and react more.
Right.
The deployment zones get a little shifted. So 7 and 10 is now the new standard for all games.
Okay.
So according to chat, Jerry, I have 3 inches on you.
I mean, that's just math.
That's not
just
not necessary.
math. Just math.
Channel.
Channel.
Okay, you were the Precious Channel. now that
The
you've emasculated,
dirty channel.
now that you've emasculated me, things are different. So, let's see. And so I run. I do my whole turn after we're both set up, right?
Yep. So you will go first after Kiko gets to deploy in response to you.
Now this zone here is very important. I'm trying. So the type. Are we playing just to kill each other's casters? Do we need to be inside this central box?
We don't have to play
So
with the kill box if you don't want to.
So yeah, so in some
scenarios.
scenarios you can have what Kiko just described as a kill box where it forces kind of this close-in engagement because War Machine's a game about aggression and punching people,
and metal robots,
not hiding behind walls and casually sniping at each other.
Right.
For your game though, as a battle group box game, basically you have two paths to victory. You can kill each other's warcasters, which are the little guys right here.
Yep.
They're the super mages. They control the giant stompy robots. They have all the magical powers in the world. They're super awesome.
They're like your king in chess.
They are like your king in chess. They're also like your queen in chess because they're usually your most powerful piece.
Yeah.
Ah,
Exactly.
I'm gonna remember that one.
I know. So you can kill your opponent's warcaster, or in this level of game, in this scenario, you can kill all of your opponent's warjacks. And so if you eliminate their battle group, you can leave the warcaster standing.
I've never seen
Yeah. So you have two options to victory. And part of that is because in this level of game, sometimes you can destroy everybody's warjacks, and then in testing we found that some snarky individuals would run their warcaster around the table, and it was really hard to catch them. Oh, it's like the game's kind of over. Come on now.
This is that RTS bullshit.
Exactly.
Oh no, my builder's over in the corner.
Yep. So now you can either eliminate the battle group or you can eliminate the warcaster. So you have two options.
All right, cool. All right, well, hey, I think that...
Are you deployed?
Yeah, I am deployed. I'm ready to
ready
roll.
go.
So one of the benefits
Going
of going second is now I know
Exactly.
how Jerry's shit is lined up.
Right. So are you saying that that's not that isn't your setup over there? It isn't just you all laid out
This is
like
not.
this?
This-
hanging out in the
no,
back.
This is what I'm thinking. Right
Inches back. There you go. There you go.
I had a fantasy that was the scenario.
Where this was the way it was going to be.
Oh, Will Apocalypse, you got a
Yeah,
trophy?
I like that. Will Pop.
You would.
We're
Well, no,
there.
There's
We're there.
two ways though. There's
When I
obviously-
smack this building accidentally and send it flying, the Will Apocalypse will happen.
But there's two ways to think about it, right? There's the Will Apocalypse. This is this entity, apparently a potent competitor.
Yes.
But I mean, obviously, as Will, it seems like you would fear the Will Apocalypse. I mean, that's the end of all wills.
Maybe. Or are we the horsemen of the Will Apocalypse? I mean, we do have like 6 wills at the office.
You would be on brand, honestly.
I know.
If
I
you
know.
were the
I feel
horses.
like I think we're there.
And there's cavalry rules. So.
That's true. Reposition 5 all the way.
I am complete. My deployment
All right.
is done.
No, that's classic. It's been a long time since I've heard "I am complete."
Complete.
Now, as they were making chess comparisons before,
Yes.
and this is very important, just because it'll give you a sort of a ground floor substrate on how to, perceive all this stuff, right? So one of the things that's important about these wizard knight generals that they call warcasters in War Machine, right, is that they are basically fonts of mystic energy. That's one of the things that makes them like a badass warrior knight general. Wizard also. And so your main character, your warcaster, is really the focus of the action. In fact, by killing it, you can win the whole game, even if you're surrounded by goddamn robots, right? If those robots are surrounding your corpse, you still lose. So Krios, who is the warcaster that I started with, I really, really enjoy their playstyle. They're differentiated by the other units in a couple ways. One is that they're this font of power. That's represented by these tokens right here. He has a stat called Focus, like all warcasters, and that means that every turn I get 7 monies, basically 7 magic monies.
Sweet magic monies.
To invest in my jacks. And it's always and my own spells. It all comes from the same pool. But something that changed in 3, you tell me if I'm right, is that just by being in my zone of control, which is 14 inches. Correct. Which is basically twice that focus stat I was talking about. This zone of control, basically my warjacks, these steam-powered battle contraptions, they get a free fucking focus now.
They do.
This is easy mode. You know that, right?
I mean, I realized that because this is like some of the first games you play in the new edition, because in the old editions, you didn't get this.
No.
You used to have to scrimp and save and go uphill both ways
Yeah.
to get to victory in War Machine. And now it's like,
now it's just handed to
focus
you.
everywhere. Focus everywhere. Yeah, so one of the big things in the new edition is, War Machine is a game of resource management, right?
Yes.
You have a limited amount of magical energy called focus, like you talked about. How you use that focus to empower your warcaster and your warjacks and your troops as the games get bigger,
Right.
is really the key to victory. And so getting that extra focus allows more jacks on the table. which we thought was important because the game is called War Machine.
Yeah.
You want a lot of War Machines.
Right.
And it also, it lessens a little bit of the strain while keeping the core game exactly the same. And so, while you feel like it's easy mode now, I bet as you start going, you're going to be like, I wish I had 3 focus on these guys.
Well, the great thing is
happens.
because in addition to being martial badasses, their warcasters are also spell casting wizards, and there's an ability that I have that I've used to great effect historically called Lamentation, which basically makes it more expensive for enemy warcasters to buy spells.
Yeah.
And with this new mechanism, I basically get Lamentation for free. This is great. I want to tell you how important Lamentation is. So I have a token in my box, and these are dry erased. You're supposed to wipe them off, but I wrote L on it in permanent.
You're like, I never need to change this token.
That's commitment.
There's no
It is.
reason. There's no reason. So Genus is saying that the Will Crotch cam
Yeah, well, there you go.
is
Yeah,
robust.
It's really right there. We've spared no expense on this at all.
Yeah, so I'm going to run Lamentation by spending 3 of my focus, and I'm going to leave 4 focus on my caster.
So does that mean that you are activating Krios?
No. He's just doing his control phase.
Just control
Okay.
phase.
Just his control phase. So every round, one player will take their turn. The next player will take their turn.
Yeah.
During a turn, a player will do a maintenance phase where they do things like when you set his guys on fire, we'll find out if they continue to burn.
Right.
Like they should.
Yeah. That's a great scenario for me.
Exactly. And then you move to a control phase. In the control phase, you have a couple of different things you have to do. The first is your jacks get all their focus. Your warcaster replenishes all of their focus. You then get to upkeep spells if they have the upkeep ability. So some spells you can just keep in play as long as you divest a little bit of magical energy into them after they're cast.
Right.
And last but not least, you'll allocate up to 2 more focus points to each of your warjacks as long as they have a functional cortex, which is their magical brain meats. And Kiko, if he does well, can knock out your magical brain meats, and you can knock out his magical brain meats using system damage and stuff.
That's right.
But effectively, this is where that resource management comes in, because you're going to give them focus before you actually get to see what they do on their turn.
Exactly. So
And there's no way to take it back.
So you have to envision it
Correct.
like a wizard knight general
Yes.
would.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
And so having focus allows the jacks, obviously the jacks are war machines, they can do cool shit, but when they have focus, they can do extra stuff.
Yes.
And so exerting them, like really putting them to work, requires some of this magical juice.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna start by activating my Revenger, which is one of my favorite jacks. So it has a speed of 5, but I'm gonna expend the focus that it got for free to do a run action.
Yep. And that basically lets you move up to double its movement, but it can't do anything else that turn.
That's right.
So it puts all of its energy towards booking it.
This Repenter, another fan favorite, because of it's basically just a flamethrower on 2 legs. Same chassis as the other one. I'm going to send the Repenter up double as well, using its focus.
A classic War Machine first turn of everything runs.
Yeah, exactly. Well, and that's probably another reason why you started giving them the free focus, right? It's all they were doing with it anyway.
They get a free run or a charge. Other things you can do with focus that are cool, you can buy extra attacks.
Yes.
You can boost, which is going to be huge when we start talking about attack and damage rolls. So yeah, there's a lot of things, and having that one focus gives those jacks the flexibility to kind of adapt without straining the warcaster too much.
Right. Now, Krios can run without.
Correct.
But if I run, I can't cast spells.
You can't cast spells.
And that's fine.
So
And that's fine. So Krios's base movement is 5, just like those jacks. He's going to go up and hang out with his people.
he likes his big robot friends.
Yes, he does.
Let's be honest.
And I leave the focus physically on the
You do.
model.
And one of the important things about focus is that warcasters can actually use their focus points to reduce damage they take.
That's right.
So even though you didn't use it for any cool like attacking stuff, if by some magical ability Kiko cheats and puts his warjack right here and starts beating you in the back,
Like Signar.
like Signar would, because they are nothing but filthy, filthy swans.
Right.
You could use that focus that's left on him to reduce the damage that you take every time he takes an attack against you.
Cool.
So it makes warcasters pretty survivable too, and it goes back to that resource thing. Am I going to get attacked? How many focus do I want to leave on for protection?
Exactly. It's like, how do I think this is going to be my turn? Am I going to just shunt all this energy into attacks and spells? or do I just use it to bolster my suit?
Yes.
All right, Kikerzord, I am complete.
All right, so
Big
I'm
red
going
machine
to-
coming at you.
do I generate my focus or do I power up first?
So at the start of the game, every Warcaster starts with their focus point. So she'd already have some.
So she already has some.
But
She
at the
already
start of
has
your
her
control
6.
phase, what you would do is if she had less than 6, you would put 6 on her.
Back up to 6.
Yep. And then you would say, do I want to upkeep spells? Do I want to allocate? You also need to power up when you put the focus back on her. So each of these jacks is going to need 1 focus on it.
Free focus.
Because they're going to charge up because they're within her control range. She's a little less magical than Krios. So she only has a focus out of 6.
Right.
So her control range is also only going to be 12 inches as opposed to 14
Truncated.
inches.
Did you put the free focus on there to make the game appeal to millennials? Is that what this is about?
No, not necessarily. Not necessarily.
But you were thinking about it.
I mean, really what it came down to is that I personally like to run a lot of warjacks, and I felt like the game was being unfair to me. And I was like, you know what? I have the power to change this. And damned be to everyone else.
Exactly right.
So I just walked into the office and I threw it on the table and I was like, you're going to give everybody a free focus. And they were like, yeah. And I was like, or otherwise you're going to be fired.
You're going to lose all this.
Right. This is going to be gone. No more crotch shots.
Yeah, the crotch cam.
No more Will Apocalypse. That was going to be the Will Apocalypse.
No, see, Billy Bung is suggesting that we be able to see the crotches on the war machines, which I support.
Some of them have
100%.
very impressive crotches as well. Many of them decide to cover with a loincloth.
Yeah,
tasteful chains.
but
standard.
the standard is a
Taylor Jack
loincloth.
chassis has a loincloth.
Yes.
A metal loincloth.
If you really want excellent crotch shots, I would suggest going to Retribution of Syra.
Okay.
They have very sleek and rounded
Some of them are
curves.
pointy, too.
Some of them are pointy,
Yeah.
but their lower torsos are very nicely shaped.
You're saying there's a range.
There's a range, yes. Yes, we have crotch shots for every type and desire.
Exactly.
Okay, so I have regenerated my focus. I have powered up my jacks.
So now you can allocate.
Now I can allocate, which I will allocate another 2 focus.
Now, one of the big things,
my
because
destroyer.
I know this is some of your first games of Mark III, you guys can pre-measure now.
Correct.
So,
Pre-measure?
if you'd like to find out if your
God
destroyer
damn it,
was able
Will.
to shoot this Crusader, you could do that. Now, the destroyer can move 4, and you can shoot 14. So if this thing's within 18 inches of you,
Hold on a second.
let me hold your device here,
It's gonna
sir.
be
You're gonna be a little out.
A little out.
So no shooting this turn, but yes, you can pre-measure.
Okay, so when you say, I just want to verify. So when you say pre-measure, you're saying that we can measure ahead of time?
Yes, ahead of time. You can predict the future, sort of.
So in case Chad doesn't know, that's a huge change for War Machine.
Yes.
No,
Yes.
it's true. It's true. Basically, so much of the game before was like in your mind having this 12-inch like force you could project onto the thing, and then like the whole game came down to one thing that you would have easily known was not possible if you could measure.
There were so many in the last edition of the game. There were so many different things you could measure on your turn. You could measure line of sight into force, which is 3 inches. You could measure distance from a flag, which you had to control, which was 4 inches. You can measure your control area at any time.
Yeah.
So really,
Without hesitation.
what happened was the game became this weird you can't pre-measure unless you know trig. And if you're really good at trigonometry, you can know everything. And so it's just
it's like a fairness thing.
why
at a
bother,
certain
right? Yeah, it
That's
was
fascinating.
At the end of the day, it was like, it doesn't change the experience. It doesn't change the nature of needing to get in close and personal because of the scenarios.
Yeah.
Right.
So it just made the game more accessible to everybody.
So this asshole that he has,
Yes,
his arm is
yes.
just a gun.
Just a gun,
Yes.
one giant cannon.
No, he can't move and then shoot. He has to.
He can move. So on a model's turn, when it activates, it moves, and then it performs a combat action. And that can be shooting, stabbing something if it's within range.
Oh, okay.
Some things can cast spells, not counting Warcasters, because their spells are free, because they're super powerful. But yeah, so on a model's activation, you always move first, and then you do a combat action, which is typically attack.
So do you think that you could move and then get a shot off?
He just measured it, and
I measured
he's
it
like
and
2
I
inches
can't
short.
be within range, but
Yeah.
since it's a cannon,
You
Yes.
don't care.
it's an AOE projectile.
Oh, this is great.
There's a chance that it can drift.
This is awesome. So we're going to show everybody This is how we play this game. It involves a lot of shots at the wrong range and then hoping that you hit their Warcaster. So let's show them how the...
Nothing better than a good deviation.
Oh, exactly, yeah, deviance. So let's show them how this template works.
So typically, if it's not a direct hit, but it's an AoE shell or a ranged attack, it's half POW, which is sort of not technically half damage, but it is it's not a full damage.
Base damage, exactly.
Mortar. So I could try to drift into your Crusader.
Yeah.
But your Crusader has a lot more armor.
So a half POW hit probably not effective.
One of your light jacks.
Indeed.
So if I'm going to hope for a drift, I want it to be on the lowest arm value, just so that that might be able to damage.
So you're saying you want to enter the drift?
More or less. So what I'm going to do, typically Khador, they are the damage sponges of War Machine.
The Soviet
Very tanky.
era.
Soviet era, they're huge, big on armor, but very low on speed. So my base stat for my Warjacks here is a speed of 4, which is 4 inches, and I'm going to move directly towards your flamethrower, Jack.
But I don't want that. I want to bathe your Warcaster in holy fire.
The closer
the
he gets to
Lawbringer.
you, the closer is to your flamethrower. You know, it's glass half empty, half full thing.
Of fire.
Yeah,
Okay.
The glass half full of napalm.
fire.
My Destroyer,
Don't drink that.
I do have an extra focus on him for some reason. That was my mistake.
It's fine.
He really only needs to hopefully boost a damage roll.
No, I can save this for you.
Okay.
If you drift perfectly, you have a chance to hit both Jerry's Warcaster
yes,
and
that's
his
a very good
Warjack,
point.
which means that you could boost both those damage rolls. So you were just thinking ahead.
You're right. I'm a genius.
Yeah, I'll go into the versions of that type of maneuver I can do on my turn. I don't have those particular jacks out right now, but
Okay, my Destroyer has in his left arm a bombard cannon, and in his right arm an executioner axe. The range on the executioner axe is obviously not within range because it is
an axe.
It's like 1 inch, right?
It's 1 inch,
Yep,
range 1.
Yep.
So I'm not going to be swinging that axe, but I will attempt. The range of my bombard cannon is 14 inches.
It's nice. It's nice.
That's a whole
It
lot.
is a very long projectile.
Length has been a big focus.
Today. That is the point, the extent of which my bombard
Here you go.
Blam. Perfect.
will fire.
Yep.
Now, it is not within range. That means it misses. But since it's an AoE ranged attack, it has the opportunity to drift.
It does.
So we're going to use...
The drift template.
Let me judge this up for you.
So
Here
you
we go.
often get help for this stage. You know, theoretically, the best case scenario
usually
is to
from
have,
your opponent.
Yeah, usually from your opponent. But honestly, the best case scenario is really to have Will.
Right.
Yeah,
Come to your house.
I don't come in every box, but I do take house calls.
For the lucky few.
That's right. There are golden tickets, maybe, or something.
Okay, first I'm going to roll a d6 to determine the direction
Yep.
of the drift.
And so you'll notice that the 1 goes towards the target. So I have the 1 towards the target. I'm not going to cheat yet.
Goes 1 to 6 clockwise.
We can show it in this camera over here.
Oh yeah, there you go.
So those little numbers in the middle here, you're going to roll the direction.
And obviously, this sigil can also be used for spell casting.
Yes.
Real spells on the
Okay,
earth.
so what I'm looking for is a 1, because that goes
Yes.
directly towards the target. And I rolled a 1.
It's like it's almost
damn
like
it.
you're
Gentlemen.
cheating. It's almost like you're cheating. Now you need a 6.
Okay, so now I'm going to roll on a d6 the amount that it travels
So
directly
just
at the
go to the
target.
6. Yeah, that's all you need. That's all you need. Just a
All we
6.
need is 6? Okay, you ordered a 6.
6
Yeah,
inches,
that's
basically.
what we're calling for here. 5. That might actually do it.
That might actually do it,
it.
because this is a 3-inch.
I'm gonna grab this straight,
The,
and we're
the
gonna go
zone
5.
is going to the zone that hits
Ah,
is 3
now
inches.
see, it's a 4-inch AoE now in Mark
it
3.
is.
We made the cannon bigger and better
Well,
because Khador deserved it.
this is great news.
So you totally have covered him in the blast area, and all that requires is that his base falls under one of these circles, and so the 4 inches is this one.
Yep.
And you got him. So he's
right.
going to take a POW 7 blast damage, which
Josh,
you can boost.
Which camera?
Totally
should I
not
look,
planned.
Which camera should I look at angrily? Like, which is the camera I should be like?
Any camera. It's just the center one.
All right. Oh, you fucking...
It's demonstration. You know, the
right.
fates demand it.
You
They
can have
demand
that.
it.
You
They
don't-
demand
you won't be
it.
needing
Okay,
it much longer.
So
All right.
the POW of this weapon is a 14. The damage calculation is, since it's an AOE and it was a drift, it's half POW.
So 7.
So I start with a 7. Most rolls in this game
Yep.
include a 2d6.
Yep.
So I'm going to be rolling a 7, starting at 7, rolling 2d6, adding up the total damage. It'll be subtracted by the armor,
Yeah.
and then that will determine damage.
Yep. And can you not boost the...
Oh, he totally can.
Okay, are you
So,
going to be boosting?
one of the great things about focus, I can spend 1 focus that was allocated to the jack and add a d6 to that roll. So, of course, why shouldn't I do that?
So 7
I mean,
plus
you put
3d.
2 on there.
So we're looking for so
Okay.
in our heads, this is how we do it now because we've done it a bunch of times, right? So you have 7 plus 3d6. The armor on this jack, the Repenter, is 17.
Okay.
So basically, you want 10 or better on your dice.
On my dice.
Yep.
And
You'll
anything beyond 10
need
is
a
damage.
Is damage.
Yep. Yeah, and like Hiko said, pretty much everything is resolved in War Machine on a 2d6 system. So it's 2d6 plus a stat against a target number.
Yep.
Yeah. So the rolls are really, really straightforward.
So we have
You got an 11.
an 11.
You did a point of damage.
I did a point of damage, which is great for first turn.
It's still fun. Now, because it is, if it were an infantry, for the most part, infantry would be destroyed.
Yeah, he'd just be pasted.
He'd be liquefied. My main warcaster has a big heap of hit points.
Yep.
As a warjack, they have a sort of square that shows how their damage looks, and it also has the systems inside that square, and those can get fucked up, and you can actually lose your weapons and your cortex.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So the first step for me is that you roll on that grid, right?
There's a little grid here in the corner of each Warjack stat card. And it's a grid of 6
Yep.
by...
6 by 6. So
by
the
6.
max is 36 for a jack.
For a regular jack.
There aren't very many that have that. There are giant jacks called colossals that have 2 damage grids.
So you roll 1d6 to tell me the column,
Yep.
and then another, and then I know where the damage
Basically,
is.
starting top, go top down. You mark 1 box of damage for each damage point, and you move left to right. And if
So
you
this
go off
is-
the track, you just start again at the front.
Exactly.
One of my favorite parts of War Machine is the damage grid for
It's
the
a good
Warjacks.
system.
It's a really great system. So I'm going to roll a d6, and it will determine where this 1 point of damage is going to go on your Warjack.
Exactly.
And I rolled a 2.
All right.
So you will mark the first tick. under
Exactly.
the-
So the sorts of awesome things that are in that column that he can wreck are 2 boxes that represent my flamethrower. So if at any point I ever lose all of the flamethrower boxes in this grid, I'm fucked.
Not as bad anymore.
Well, no. I only have one thing I'm trying to do in this game.
No.
And that's set him on fire.
But in previous editions, if your left arm was crippled, as we call it, all
Yeah.
the boxes were filled up, it didn't work anymore. But now,
What?
What? Let me do another one for you. Now, if all of the boxes of your left arm are filled up, you can still use the flamethrower. However, you roll 1 fewer die on your attack and damage rolls because it's kind of fucked up.
Oh, but you know what though? It doesn't really matter.
Right, because you'll still set
If I
it on
can
fire.
boost it,
you'd still get 2
fire
dice.
effect still
You get
gets
2 dice.
applied.
Yep.
Oh,
So,
delicious.
So another kind of improvement to the Warjacks and their efficiency is the fact that you can't knock out a Jack's ability to attack completely anymore.
Yeah.
But you can severely hinder it.
Now, what happens if you destroy all the M's for movement or
Okay,
the
so
cortex?
if all the movement goes out, your legs get messed up. You can no longer run or charge.
Okay.
So basically, you're stuck to walking.
you take your time.
Yep. If all of your cortex boxes, which are the C boxes, are destroyed, you no longer can have focus.
Okay, so that's still true.
So no more allocation, no more power up.
But there's just no more dead in the water.
Correct.
type
There's
weapons.
no more like, oh, this arm is just completely useless. What do I do?
All right, take it away, Keek.
Okay, so my destroyer, 1 point of damage.
Absolutely.
That is pretty great.
Not
for
bad.
first
Not
turn.
bad. Yeah.
yeah, heck yeah.
Juggernaut, he has an open fist in his left hand and a giant ice axe in his right hand.
Kind of wants to just get in there.
Yeah, so the axe on a Cato Warjack is Khador.
It's impressive. It hits at a power plus strength 19, which is huge. It's
Yeah.
one of the most powerful
Well, I was gonna say,
jack-held weapons in the game.
I mean, so if we're talking about the calculations you were talking about before, right? That 19. So the armor on this jack is 17. Before you have rolled any dice, it has already done 2 points of damage.
It starts at 19, and then whatever you roll is just cake.
Yeah, it's just creme.
So I want my Juggernaut to get in nice and friendly, and since my base speed is only 4, his run by spending a focus is 8 inches. So he's going to move up 8 inches and try and close that gap.
Just trundle forward.
So the next is Sorsha. So she less focus than Krios, but she has a speed of 6.
Good tricks.
Light. Her defense very high.
Yes.
Armor, it's all right.
Yeah.
But
it's a coat.
she has a great spell called Wind Rush.
Yep.
So this is a classic Sorsha spell. I will spend 2 focus to cast Wind Rush, and here is why. When I cast Wind Rush, I get a full advance, which is essentially a move, up to my speed of 6 inches, just for casting the spell. And additionally, for casting Wind Rush, I get +2 to my defense until my next turn. So that was just a spell.
Yeah, exactly.
I have not used my regular move. I have not advanced yet.
Yep. So Wind Rush really cool. Lets you reposition, move again if you want to. The only thing you can't do at this point is run, because you
Correct.
did cast a spell.
Because I did cast a spell. Wind Rush can only be cast on Sorsha herself. So what I'm going to do...
Can you cast it twice?
I believe it says once per turn.
There we go. Thank you.
But,
Thank
once
you,
per-
Will.
but if it didn't say that, yes,
could.
you could.
Yeah.
Now, Sorsha is a little... she doesn't want to get lit on fire.
Yeah.
'cause that would be bad for her.
No, she's from a very cold place.
So just so I'm a little bit safe, I'm going to just advance her a little bit out of this.
Get kind of
Out of this
cozy
line
up
of
behind
fire.
that large
Yeah.
mansion.
And I'm going to keep the 3 focus on Sorsha for the next turn.
All right, so that completes a full round. So we would go to round 2. The turn starts off with Jerry, and basically,
So power up phase.
yep,
These guys get their free.
their sweet free focus.
That's right. Now I have 7 more that I have here to cast. Let's see. I think this is going to be really interesting.
I hate it already.
He's ready to roll. I got that heat. Obviously, that's a huge plus. That's a huge plus for me. They're gonna run. I'm gonna leave this stack here. God, okay, this is gonna be so interesting. Okay, I'm sorry.
The wheels are turning. The
just
wheels are
forgotten-
turning.
I just forgotten how much I enjoyed it. So if you are a dork, like myself, if you are a dork, one of the things that I appreciate about this game is that my faction, the Protectorate of Menoth, are basically like a religious cult that worships the oldest, like the Old Testament version.
The creator
God.
of man.
Yes, exactly.
The god that is fact proven to have made man.
Yeah, the lawbringer.
They're in the right.
Right. Exactly.
Effectively. I mean,
Exactly.
there's no ifs, ands, or buts about this.
And so that cleansing fire is a big deal, but the faction began sort of as a vassal state of Khador. So all of their technology is really repurposed work jacks from Khador, this other faction. And that is why they have the same movement.
yeah.
Similar movement.
Similar movement,
I
similar.
wait up at night thinking about shit like this. It's the best, the end. Now, I'm going to take my Revenger, which is this awesome guy here, with the shield and the pointy thing.
And a certain
I
thing
believe-
on its smokestack.
Yes.
Yes.
So we'll get
Yes.
into, we'll get into what
I can
exactly.
already see this plan fermenting here.
We'll get into exactly what is on the smokestack. Fear not.
Fear not, dear reader.
It's gonna come up.
I'm just peeking out around the corner. He's like, hi, Sorsha.
Yeah, exactly. Let's see. So that's a run. I'm going to move the Crusader up
Trundle forward here.
4.
Okay. He gets to keep his focus because he didn't spend it to run.
That's right. Not that he can do anything with it.
Not that he can do anything with it.
He can't really
now.
collect focus.
There are certain models in the game though that it does matter that focus point stays there because there are models that can steal that focus point to use it for themselves.
Well, yeah, and there's
you can take extra damage for it.
There's a bunch of cool interactions.
Yes.
So there's Krios. He's up here.
Big stack of focus.
Exactly. Now, I want to just check something really quick.
Before you start something,
Yeah.
for our audience,
Yes.
can you grab this panel and we're going to shift it a little bit towards the camera,
Yeah.
just so they can see what's happening behind.
What's happening
this
behind the
house.
building?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
This perfectly shot building here.
Yes.
There you go.
Oh my God, dude, that is legitimately beautiful. And that D will.
I know.
Damn.
It just frames the whole shot, Jerry.
Dude, it brings
the
the room
whole
together.
shot.
It really brings the room together. So I am going to also.
Are you going to cast any spells with him? Are you going to do anything with him before
He
you
ran.
activate? Oh,
he ran.
He ran.
Interesting.
Okay, interesting. All right. We're repositioning here. We're coming up. We're coming up the flank.
Let's see. Okay. All right. I'm interested in this.
I'd like to see the sales pitch as well, honestly.
Okay.
All right.
That is my turn. But just so everybody knows, and I can measure whenever I want, right?
Yes, you can.
So this little guy, can he be seen here? Oh, yeah, it's top secret. You can't see him right now.
You see from the top.
No, rest assured. Oh, you can see. You can see his nubbin.
You can see his smokestack.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So rest assured, this little guy is really, really neat. So he's a different chassis. He's a much smaller, like a half-size chassis from the rest. You can see that both the Keeks are big motherfuckers named after bears.
The distinction is a heavy warjack and a light warjack.
Yes.
Exactly. So different point costs. Generally speaking, different levels of toughness. But he is great for a couple reasons. One, he has a powerful charge on his spear. So when he does a charge, first of all, it's like your base movement plus 3 inches.
Yes. Yep.
So it isn't like a regular run, but for a lot of jacks, that's a lot of space.
Yes.
And then the spear gives him the ability to attack within 2 inches of that endpoint. So that's crazy by itself. He also has a shield, so that attacks that come into the front arc, basically I have a higher armor, anything that comes in that zone. But this is the other fucked up thing about this. I love this thing. So it's a special shield. This is sounding like some Ron Popeil. If you act now,
There's more.
if you act now,
Yes.
any attack that comes in and hits that shield automatically bounces that unit back 1. So that's a really important deal when it comes to his these Khador jacks. He's almost designed to survive a Khador hit because the range on those axes that they have is big and it's 1. So if you hit me and I bounce you back 1 inch, now you're out of range.
Yep.
It's pretty exciting. There's one more thing. That is great.
But wait.
If you order now.
If you order now,
If you order
we will,
now.
free of charge, add a device called an arc node. So an arc node allows my warcaster to see through the eyes of that warjack and to cast spells as though I were in that warjack's physical location. So, in that case, I can put him in places I wouldn't want to put my warcaster.
This extends your spell range to ridiculous amounts.
Yes.
Because the spell range is already a fucking nightmare.
Right.
At 14, it's already fucked. Right here, so go ahead.
Okay, so I can foresee
Some scenarios
Where I can foresee Sorsha getting blasted in the face with fire magic.
So,
So-
we win a full turn. Her wind rush is
Yep.
no longer active.
Wind rush. We should have a wind rush emote. It's gonna be at that level.
Sorsha is going to generate back up to 6, her focus.
And then her rowdy crew.
My heavy warjacks
Get powered up.
are in her control range. 12 inches for Sorsha. They're going to power up, get a focus.
Yep. And one of the important things to note is that you had a focus point left on this guy right here from last turn. Those go away.
Right.
So
any
warjacks can't hold on
any
to focus
allocated
points.
focus on warjacks.
Right. So you can't
Do
build
not
them up
carry
over and over a turn.
And max is only 3 anyway. So we have this set up here. I need to decide how to shift Sorsha's location because she's in a very bad spot right now because she can take a bunch of spells if I leave her in her current location. Additionally, we could possibly see our first
Charge.
charge. So, Will, tell us about a charge.
All right. So charging is basically a special movement choice.
When two warjacks love each other very much.
That's a different type. That's more of a slam, and we may get to that as well.
It's a special rule.
No, so a charge is basically a special movement that combines a model's movement and its combat action. And obviously the name kind of says it all, right? You're going to run in there and you're going to hit something with your melee weapon.
Yeah.
So in WARMACHINE, a charge, if a warjack wants to charge, it has to spend a focus. If it does so, it can turn to face any direction. It has to declare a charge against something you can see, and one of the things we haven't really talked about is line of sight. So in line of sight, you can see anything in your front 180. So you usually split that by the shoulders. So for example, you could say the Juggernaut is going to declare a charge against the Crusader. It can see it because it's in its front 180. It would spend a focus point. It would then take its movement plus 3 inches. It has to go in a straight line. And unless it has a rule called Pathfinder, or some other rule that allows it to ignore terrain when it's charging, it can't charge over like this wall here. It can't charge through a building, right?
But if it had Pathfinder...
It could charge over the wall, not through the building.
Right.
Only obstacles that are not...
Correct. Or other models.
Or the models, okay.
So basically, you have to have a clear path for your base to completely get to the end of your charge. If you end your charge movement within melee distance of your charge target, so for this guy it would be 1 inch because that's the range of his axe and his fist, you get to make a melee attack with one of your weapons. The cool thing about that is that the damage roll, as long as you hit, is automatically boosted. So charging is kind of focus efficiency. It's a freebie because you're getting that boost for free, basically, and you're also getting an extra amount of movement. The difference being is that movement is restrictive. So,
but you can't double boost.
You can't double boost.
The boost coming off of it's free.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you can't spend another focus point to boost again. Right. There are abilities that allow you to
go
add...
blind. If you double boost.
It's true. You will. Your palms will get very hairy and you will go blind very quickly. So don't do it.
Don't do as we have done.
Okay, so I'm going to pre-measure, which is something
you can do now.
Yes, I have to get used to.
Yes.
So we have a base movement of a base speed of 4 on my Juggernaut.
Yep.
I want to try and charge this Crusader. I want to get into range. So
7
on
inches.
a charge, base speed is 4 plus 3 because of the charge.
Yep. And then you have a 1 inch melee range.
Is 1 inch.
Yep.
So if I can get within 8 inches, I can successfully attack.
You're a little shy.
I cannot. So
before in Mark II, you know as well as I do, your jack would be right here,
just being like, "Come at me, bro. Come at me."
And it would still be fine because it's Kador.
Warcasters, some of them have a really interesting toolkit.
Oh, no. I'm sorry, I forgot about this.
That buff their warjacks. One of which, Sorsha, has called Boundless Charge. During its activation, target friendly faction model, the Juggernaut, can charge without spending a focus, so it's a free charge, or being forced, and gains +2 movement on top of its regular bonuses. It also gets Pathfinder.
So you can charge over walls.
There we go. There we go. Oh, wow.
When it charges.
Exactly.
Boundless charge lasts for 1 turn. So this is
all a part of Sorsha. This is all a part of Sorsha's personality, right?
Yes.
Right.
Like these frigid northern winds
Rushing in.
that bring ill.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Can we refer to the Juggernaut as the Juggalo? Is that on the obviously Wicked Clown?
Okay, so if I cast Boundless Charge on the Juggernaut, that would bring his total movement on a charge with his melee range to 10 inches.
Pretty robust.
So now I'm going to measure.
But you've already casted the spell, right?
No, this is pre-measured.
He hasn't even finished. He hasn't even finished with his control phase yet, Jerry.
So we're going to see where 10 inches is at.
So 10 inches would be just a little shy.
So
By
all
about
of
half an
those
inch.
things would not get me to
But you've got that
range.
tool for next
But I have the
turn.
tool for next turn. So what I'm going to
And
do...
more importantly, you know that he doesn't have Boundless Charge, and his threat range is equal to your normal Juggernauts.
Correct.
Yes.
So you can play a game of cat and mouse where you're like, you gotta come at me.
I have a feeling that might be what's
Hit and
happening here.
meals.
So what I'm going to do, he has brought his
worst.
his light warjacks.
His menagerie.
Within what we think
His
is
metal menagerie.
we can assume is in 18 inches of my destroyer, which would be his movement plus his ranged attack. So I can put some
heat.
fire on
And
your
the bombard
Jax.
has arcing fire.
Correct. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to allocate one focus on him, because what I plan to do is walk, and I'm going to shoot a bombard onto your
Crew.
onto your light jack here. I'm going to spend one focus to boost the attack, and then hopefully if I
Hopefully boost
hit,
the damage.
I will boost the damage. So 2 focus should be enough. And for the rest, I think I am going to... I think cat and mouse is what I need to do right now with my
Just get
Juggernaut. So I think he's going to probably stay put. But I will start by activating Sorsha and go ahead and do a Wind Rush again.
Wind Rush.
Discretion is the better part of valor here. Whoosh.
Put her there. And then I'm going to move her so she is not impeding my destroyer's path.
Yep.
I'm going to move her over here.
Interesting.
I'm going to change her arc so she's facing
You scared him.
Yeah. Scared.
all of this
Juice.
stuff. So I think Sorsha is good where she's at. I'm going to keep that refocus on her, and I'm going to...
Now, Sorsha does have a pistol.
She
That has
does
range
have a
12.
pistol.
It's POW 12. So you might just, you know, you got bullets to spare. Bullets come cheap in Khador.
You think I should give that a shot?
I think it's worth measuring.
Okay.
You're a little short.
A little short.
All right.
I'm okay with that.
Just for warning. Let's say that it happened.
She just pulls out.
That's right. She's like,
brandishes.
don't come here.
waves
You don't
around.
want this. You don't want this.
Let's start by...
I mean, nothing else. It's just another dig at poor Krios here, who doesn't have a pistol. They didn't give him one.
I'm going to move
doesn't
the
need
destroyer my 4 inches.
Yes. So now it's going to get Reezy.
I'm going to fire up the bombard cannon. I'm going to measure 14 inches for range. It's well within.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm going to take a shot.
All right, I love it.
I'm going to boost it.
So, and boosting will be important because one of the things is you see how this guy is kind of, well, you can't see him except from up top.
You'll see him soon.
You'll see him soon. But, so because he's taking cover behind this house basically here, he's going to get +4 to his defense.
Correct. Which will essentially nullify
Your dice.
my
Your boost.
ranged attack skill,
Yes.
which is 4.
4. Also the same, literally the same as most Menoth ranged attacks. What's the history of these two peoples? All right, go ahead.
Okay, so my skill for shooting this bombard cannon is a 4. He has cover, which gives him a +4 to his defense. So that's essentially nullified. So it's a straight dice roll.
Yep, 16 death is
16
what I've got.
death. So
So you need a 12.
I need a
You need 12 or better on your dice
Okay.
to hit a 16. Because he's normally a 12, goes up to apply +4 to a 16.
okay.
So drop them.
So you need,
I need a 12.
that's only slightly above average on 3 dice.
right,
You got
so-
this.
Basically, it's a 2d6. I boosted it, so I'm adding a third d6. I need a 12 or higher.
We believe. Yeah, that's you didn't even need to try.
All right.
I mean, there it is.
Right.
There it is.
So I get
the old 13.
Okay.
I get barded.
So I got 13 on that roll. That is a direct hit.
Full power.
So no template. Template only.
Well, the template would go on, but we,
it would
we
go
kind of
on.
know that it doesn't hit
It is an
anything else.
AoE, so it's
Kaboom! So, you know, the 4 is...
if there were any other models close to that model, I probably could have.
If they're under the
damaged them as
template,
well.
they would take
Correct.
that POW 7 blast.
So this is a bombard. It is a very big 14
Yeah.
on a light warjack.
I'm ready. And remember, so the armor on that jack is 17.
But he's got his shield.
Yeah. Which
So-
is, so it's 19 in that front arc.
So shields give you +2 to your arm as long as you're
Okay.
getting hit in the front.
So I am looking at a minus. What am I looking at?
-3.
-3. Okay.
Or no, sorry, 5.
-5. Okay.
-5, because of the shield.
So I am spending a focus point to boost the damage roll, which brings me up to 3 dice. And it's I have to get a minus. I have to get 5 or better.
Yeah.
To apply damage to this warjack. That is
That's
a
really good. It's
not bad.
11.
So you're going to do 6 points to it.
6 points of damage to the light warjack.
That's not shabby.
Where does
It's
that
not
damage
shabby.
go?
That damage will go on your damage grid, starting in column 2.
Okay. So you're going to keep just shredding through there. So how many points total?
This one, though.
Yeah. How many points total?
I think it was a 6.
6, yep. 6 points. So it'll fill up the 2. You'll move over to the 3 column. It's like we said, when one column gets filled, you just go to the left, go to the right.
Brutal.
Left to right.
So my goal currently is to not only destroy this Light Warjack, it is to cripple your Arc Node, so you cannot
So
use
you can't
it.
cast spells through it.
Right.
Exactly right.
So that is the end of my turn.
Okay.
The Juggernaut is activating and doing nothing.
He is correct.
He is present.
He is
Stomping. He's just doing some gorilla pounding.
Yeah.
Come
as
at
they
me.
do.
So still well within on the 14. Now, so I'll give everybody their free
Power up.
their power up phase. Now, help me out with this edge here.
Okay.
What's the best way to adjudicate this movement off of this edge? How can I find out the best way to do it?
When you would move, you just simply move in stages, right?
Yeah.
So don't bend the tape. Just go. This base is about 2 inches long, so effectively, I think you'd have to go
Just
2 and a
move
quarter.
out and then
so just
go.
move out and then turn, because you can turn your face at any time while you're moving. So the way that most people would do it is you take one of these little widgets and you can put them base to base and then go here and then
there
move
we
them to
go.
there.
Oh, that's handy.
And then you can go here, move to here, and now you know you've gone 4 inches, right?
And
so you get pretty
run,
precise as you need
run
to do
doesn't
that.
have to be
Run does
linear.
not have to be
Not like
linear.
charge.
No, charges are the only things that have to be linear. Charges and tramples and slams, but
Okay. Well,
you're running, you can run in circles if you want.
Exactly. Well, I'm going to activate the run on this, which costs 1 wing wong. So I'm going to move out 2.
So you have cleared the corner of the building.
Clear the corner. So total, I
You've got
have
8
8 more
left.
inches.
Yep. And you can turn your face in at any time, so you can easily turn around and start running up on those guys. And the one thing that you'll want to do is just make sure that you don't wind up within 2 inches, or otherwise your arc node's not going to work anymore. So you're going to want to come back just a little bit. There
For
you
the
go.
node.
Perfect.
For that node.
For that node.
Okay.
Now the reasoning for that is you have a
Because I have.
Yes, because
So-
you
well,
have
so-
2 inches
so-
of reach.
So even if I'm engaging them.
Yeah,
you are still
you're
I'm engaged.
Be engaged in the arc node.
Okay.
I'll shut
so
down.
Jerry's Light Jack here has a pole arm
Yes.
that has a melee range of 2 inches. So if he is within 2 inches of an enemy model, he is then engaging that model. His arc node cannot be used at that point. So
can't
he
use
does
it.
not want to engage any of the models because I assume
Exactly.
he wants to use his arc node.
Because I can't use my magical shit.
Yes.
Okay. So Krios is going to move up. Why would I?
Well, you do have a feat that could knock everything down.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. So that's the other thing that Warcasters have. We haven't gotten into that yet. Every Warcaster has like a special ability they can use once per game.
And it's crazy
That
good.
breaks the
Crazy good.
game. That breaks
Yeah.
the game. I mean, basically, you freeze everybody in your area of control,
Line of sight.
line of sight, right? I knock everyone in my zone of control down,
Whether or not you can see them.
whether or not I can see them.
Which is
So that's why you made the point, because you're like, well, what Jerry is doing is unfair and mean.
Krios's feat is very powerful.
It is real good. Now the difference is that when you're frozen, you literally don't get to take an activation.
Correct.
When you're knocked down, you can at least stand up and either move or take an action. So
Very true. So the other difference is that Krios's knockdown has a greater area of effect than Sorsha's due to his focus stat.
Yes.
Okay, so that was the run. So there's no
Okay.
other stuff. Krios is going to move back here, but not at a run. He's going to go here, underneath the eave. Very tasteful.
Just hanging out. It might be snowing right now. He wants to get out of the snow.
Exactly. So here's Krios doing his Krios stuff. I think it's time for lay spells. So
we
but
are-
I guess I can pre-measure.
We're in Krios's activation.
Yes.
He moved. Now he can perform a combat action.
Juicy spells.
So what's the range on Krios's
8.
8? I think we need a judgment
Oh,
on this.
judge call. All right, let's see.
Had I placed my
This is important.
Did I place
the
my
plastic.
warjacks
Did
perfectly?
you place perfectly? Let's find out. Oh, well now game state's been ruined.
It's close.
I think you got it.
Really?
I mean, we have a judge.
I think you do.
Well, if we have a
That's
judge,
why-
if we have a
that's why he's
judge,
here.
I think you
if
do
we
it with
have
the
a-
straight line.
if we have a
I think
judge,
you're
then
good.
let's do it.
Now, I don't know that you can hit her wind rush like
Wind
she
rush.
is, but
Yeah.
But I believe you're within 8. So.
But now that I have 7 points, now I can attack your dude. So I will attack your dude. What's your defense right now?
Okay,
It's super high, right? It's 16?
The reason why you always want to have Windrush running on Sorsha is that her base defense is a 16.
Oh,
Which is
shit.
With
massive.
Windrush, it's an 18.
Which is even more massive.
Correct.
So you'll need 11s to hit her.
Correct.
Because when you make a magic attack, you use your focus stat, which is 7.
Okay.
Add it to your 2 dice, or 3 if you boost.
Runewise is asking, do Eves block arcing fire?
That's great. That's a great joke.
Technically, they would. They would.
They would. Now, so I'm going to do a couple things. First, I'm going to get Lamentation going. So I'll spend 3 Lamentation. Just the dork, word aspect is that when an enemy model casts a spell while in the spellcaster's control range, you double the cost of the spell, and then also upkeep spells that you cast and then sort of run from round to round. Those get doubled as well. It's a huge pain in the ass.
Good against wind rushers.
Yeah, yeah. Tell me about it.
Some would say.
Some would say.
So I am going to. So if your defense is 18, my focus is what I use to cast the spell. So that's my base ranged
Correct.
attack. So on 2 dice, I would need 11 or better.
It's plausible.
It's not plausible.
It's plausible.
plausible.
It's plausible.
Possible.
It's unlikely.
It's deeply unlikely.
Now-
so because at 4 focus,
Yep.
the way that I can run this is to A, boost the attack. So that would give me 3 dice, which would mean I could roll 11 on 3 dice. That's better.
And that's about average for 3 dice.
that's about
so
average.
if
Now-
you're feeling average,
Yeah, exactly. I'm thinking about that. But also, I would also have 1 focus left
yep.
to boost the damage if I got through.
Yes.
That's the key. So I'm going to spend 3, 2 for immolation, and 1 to boost the.
But before you do the roll,
Yeah,
do you want to explain one of the benefits of using an arc node?
yeah.
You are tucked behind a building.
Oh yeah, I am literally in this bar. I'm
He
in
can
this,
he has
drink.
No,
I'm tipping
no,
it back.
No
I
vision
can't
on
see
any of his enemies.
Any of it, and
Any
they
of them.
can't see me either. But because there's this crevice here in the middle, I can throw some dice at Kiko, and maybe something good will happen.
And so one of the things
For me.
about the setting in general is the idea is that the Warcaster and their Warjacks are telepathically linked.
Right.
So at any point, the Warcaster can kind of see the world through their Warjack's eyes, and they can communicate with them and stuff. But the Arc Node, like Kiko pointed out, allows him to relay basically his magical ability through this guy. So it's actually as if Krios is standing right here when he casts
He is
his spell.
casting a spell
Exactly.
from that
Instead
point.
of right
Exactly.
Normally, if he did not have line of sight on the
Yeah.
model he was casting a spell on, he wouldn't be able to.
He wouldn't, yeah.
exactly.
In the bar, there's no spell casting.
No,
it's
no,
a
no.
strict rule.
But there's one other thing for the nerd contingent, right? Is that this telepathic link can get stronger and stronger between a Warcaster and even an individual Jack.
Yes.
And so there's such a thing as character Jacks that have a special relationship with a Warcaster and get special benefits when they're in their service.
It's totally awesome.
It's fucking sweet. Here. So 3 dice. I need 11.
You need 11. That's not 11,
That's not
Jerry.
11.
This is a lower
That's
number.
a 7. That's average on 2 dice.
Yes.
Just,
That's a lower number.
you're 4 off.
Exactly.
The spell just kind of goes, wee,
Exactly. So
to the left. A little bit of a slice.
Then I'm going to activate
Your Crusader.
my Crusador. Okay.
So
I'm complete.
you got it.
All right. I'm going to survey.
So you gonna do some planning here?
This way,
Do some
so I don't
planning?
stand in front of the.
Oh
Do
no,
some-
I was
some
gonna
chord
say Dragon Pup you're dishing out the real juice there. There is another game. In fact, that's the game that my friend Mike Krahulik plays. He plays Hordes, which happens in the same world, but it's not. It isn't steampunky. It's really more about like dark forest magic.
It's big monsters, right? It's the feral side. So you got like big werewolf type dudes. You got big elephant guys who come from the east.
No, exactly. But the takeaway from that is that the game is the opposite in a lot of ways, where these Warcaster General Night Wizard people, they have all their juice, and then at the beginning of their turn, they put it out. The difference in Hordes is that they send their beasts out, and then based on what their beasts do, they generate tokens that their warlocks have to pull off them, or their monsters freak out. Like it's
yeah, they go crazy. Basically, yeah, it's cool because, well, so the way we kind of quickly encapsulate it is Warmachine is the game of resource management.
Yeah.
You have to ascribe your resources that you only have so many of before the start of your turn.
Right.
You don't quite
When
know
you
if
don't
things are going to
always
go to plan. Right.
Yeah.
In Hordes, it's risk management.
Yeah.
Because you can have these really explosive turns,
Right.
but then you lose control of your army on the next round.
Right.
So you have to make sure that you're planning out. And it's a really fun, like seeing a Warmachine army take on a Hordes army can be a really enjoyable experience because of how the generals have to think differently.
Well, when we had
how
our
the players
when we
think
had our
differently.
tournaments that Kiko ran, I mean, there was a lot of back and forth between those two factions.
Yeah.
So what are you thinking, Keek?
I think I'm going to destroy your light warjacks.
I think that is very, very
At
plausible.
minimum, one of them is going to go down.
Yeah.
I was hoping you put Krios a little bit more exposed, but you kind of got him tucked back there.
Yeah,
He's
on
pretty good
purpose.
behind that little...
On
that,
purpose.
is that like a dumpster there?
Sorsha has a reputation.
Yeah.
To
So for getting
uphold?
around.
Combination of Windrush and charging.
Yeah.
She can cover some ground.
She can cover some ground.
some ground.
And typically the goal is, after that ground is covered, there is a dead opposing Warcaster.
Right. With her scythe.
Yes.
That's typically the game plan with Sorsha, but I don't have that option currently.
Because of the Kree house.
Correct. You apparently staked your claim and
Exactly right.
are now decorating.
Yeah. Well,
so-
I have a consultant in.
So while you are spending your time in here, I'm gonna do some work out here.
Nice.
So I will just try
Half
and get
a
as many
dang year.
attacks onto my warjacks.
So you can allocate up
as
to 3
possible.
or 2 because you have a max of
'cause
3.
it's the free one.
And you get the free one. You get the free one. I know.
You get messed
I know.
up too.
It's just 3. I remember those dark days. I just remember them when it was like I have to give how many focus to them?
No, but it's true. But Kanto, I saw you wondering what was different, right? That's one of the things. If Warjack starts in your area, your zone of control, they get a free focus because it's 2017. It's the new model.
It's the
Warjack
future.
crazy.
And it's totally awesome. It makes the game even more fun than it already was.
No, it's cool to
Yeah.
have it. Like, I am not mad. It's good.
Especially who's typically of a Khador
Yes.
Warcaster. They are a little focused.
Yes.
They can be.
Yeah.
There are obviously exceptions to the rule.
A lot of Khador casters typically sit in that 6 focus range, and that can be a little tough when you're like, I'm trying to run 3 jacks, and I want to give
Yeah.
all 3 of them, 3 focus.
You
so they
wanna
can do
love
their stuff.
each jack.
Exactly. You don't want to show favoritism.
Okay, I'm going to start off. I think I'm going to split it.
Yeah.
I'm going to start by activating the Destroyer and seeing what he can do with his Executioner Axe.
Yeah. Why
Seems
is it
like
called that? Let's see.
It's called an
find
Executioner
out.
Axe because it has a special trait
Let's get it.
called Critical Amputation. We can go into it when and if I crit on an attack, but needless to say, you don't want that to happen.
No.
No.
No, I love limbs.
It has a propensity for shearing off limbs for sure.
Yeah, clean off.
Yeah. Just right
Surgical.
down.
So I'm going to activate my Destroyer. I'm going to move him 4 inches.
Base to base.
So,
Not even base
if
base.
I can make a suggestion,
Don't. I don't want this.
when you move this guy, remember Jerry kind of spoiled this by saying that this guy has what's called a repulsor shield. So every time you whap
yeah,
him,
you're right.
he's going to bounce you back an inch. And your best bet, the best you could do is 2 attacks on this guy. Because if you get base to base, he'll bounce you an inch. The next time you hit him, he'll bounce you an inch again.
Okay.
And then you won't be able to make your last attack. Because you have 4 potential attacks, you'll only get 2.
Correct.
However, if he bounces you into another model,
That's a very good point.
Now
my
the
only
trick here is
consideration
that you won't be able to charge.
I won't be able to charge the back model.
So the big thing to remember is as you're doing your damage stuff, assume you're only going to get 2 attacks.
I think I'm just going to get the 2 attacks.
Which is fine because you have enough to boost and you have enough to buy.
But if I
boost.
repelled him and bounced him back into his other model, that other model wouldn't take damage?
No, just because it's a
Because
push.
it's repel.
Because it's a push.
Exactly.
So there are ways that you can slam another model.
Yeah,
and
that's
in which
different.
case then they take damage as well, yeah.
Okay, so
Yeah,
I moved.
you have enough movement to get base to base.
I moved base to base. Physically, I'm not base to base,
But we know.
We know. The models have
We know, Jerry.
protrusions.
We know.
Okay, I will start by swinging the Executioner's Axe. Since I'm only going to have the opportunity to spend.
Yeah, you're going to deliver a premium axe experience.
boost that.
You don't want to boost the attack roll because you're a mat 7, I believe.
Mat 7. What
and
is
you're
your
looking
defense?
at def 12.
So I got to get a 5 on 2d6.
You need a 5 on 2d6. It's pretty likely. Now, obviously, boosting almost guarantees it.
Correct.
However, if you boost there, you're not going to be able to boost your damage roll. And so right now,
Okay.
you have your initial attack, which is free. You could boost the first damage roll. You could buy, and you could boost the second damage roll. And that's going to net you the biggest
That's
bang
the
for your
scenario.
buck.
Keek.
So
Assuming you can roll 5s, and I don't know you well enough to know yet if you can roll 5s.
It's a
It's
mix.
the first game that I've looked over.
It's a mix.
we've known each other for a while, but we've
Sixes-
never played.
Right. 6s, I mean, we had a wonderful game of Undercity, and I seem to remember you rolling a lot of 6s. That said, one of the things that when you really start getting into the game and the math of it and stuff and everything, like most people will say 6s you boost on. If it's important, you boost on 6s.
That makes sense.
5s, I'm a press your luck kind of guy. I would go for maximum
Now,
damage.
riddle me
2
this.
dice.
Yes.
What if you really want to crit?
If you really want to crit, you always want to boost.
Yeah,
Because
because
when
then
you
so-
boost,
so-
you wind up with like a 47%-ish chance.
Well, I was
I
going to
think.
say, but critting, the way that crits work in this game is not like what you think. It isn't like, hey, I rolled a
20
6s or whatever.
on a d6,
Exactly.
impossible.
In this, if 2 dice have the same face value
And you hit.
And you hit.
then it's a crit. So
Yes.
boosting the attack dice just gives you more opportunities to crit.
Yep, you sit at an over 45% chance.
So I could boost the attack to
Yes.
attempt to crit.
To
But
shear off some stuff.
the Executioner Axe is
pretty good.
a POW plus strength of 17. So I'm starting with 17. I probably
So you're 2 off the dice roll because
two
of
up
his
the dice
shield.
roll with a shield, so I probably want to save that for boosting the damage.
Yeah.
To get past that.
I mean, you can just be a boss and crit without boosting,
Yeah.
and then boost your damage.
You know what? Let's do
And
that.
one
Believe
shot
in
him,
yourself,
right?
Kiko.
Yeah, that's it. That's all it
Okay,
takes.
so
that's all it takes.
the melee attack stat
Yeah.
of my Destroyer Heavy Kadoran Warjack is a 7.
He's much more accurate with that axe than the giant cannon they gave
Right.
him.
Yeah.
You want your Khador Jacks to always be swinging the axes whenever possible.
ABS.
So I have a 7.
Mm-hmm.
Roll a 2d6. What is the defense?
The defense on that bad boy is 12.
Okay, so I got to get a 5
You do.
or higher.
You got
on
this.
2d6. That is a 5 and a 3.
There you
so
go.
it's a total of 8. That is a hit,
But it's not crit.
Not a crit.
not a crit.
So now you're going to roll 3 dice because you're going to
I'm
boost
going to
it.
boost the damage on this. It is a PNS, POW versus Strength. Melee is a POW plus Strength.
POW
when
plus
you're using
strength,
melee.
Right.
It is a 17 starting.
That's right. And so since I have a 19 armor, you're going to roll your dice, subtract 2,
Okay.
and that is your damage.
So
got it.
3d6 minus 2. I'm going to go ahead, incorporate this red d6.
yeah.
Because I assume
efficiency here.
I'm going to assume that I'm going to damage you.
Yeah.
Because it's impossible for me to roll 2 on 3d6.
Oh, exactly.
You got
so,
You have at least 1. You're guaranteed 1.
so you're saying that the red dice will be the column.
The red dice will be the column that you would apply the damage to your damage.
Indeed.
dice. So we have a 2 that is soaked by your armor.
Yep.
And a 9 points of damage. To your
Indeed.
light
To
warjack.
column 2.
On column
now,
2,
column
I'm just
2 is already
grinding.
cut straight through.
I keep hitting this
okay.
2 column.
It's okay, because now, like Jerry pointed out, it's gone. So you just keep going to the right.
Yeah, so damage
until you find an open
keeps
damage
moving to the
box.
right.
So it's 9. So it's 9.
9.
Nine
Yep,
total.
9 points.
Good Christ.
That is a Kadoran axe
To the face. And then you would bounce 1 inch away, which we know will keep you in melee.
Okay, well, yeah, so that cuts straight through the arc node. So now my entire game plan is destroyed.
Sparking and fizzling out.
I love it.
Yeah, Krios is going to have to come out of the bar now and be like,
I
"What?
am. I'm gonna
You hit my
stumble."
car."
So
gonna
yeah,
stumble out.
so Krios, just a little chill.
Yeah.
Just a tiny
I feel it.
So typically for melee attacks, on your models,
Yeah.
you get 1 per activation.
Per weapon. Per
weapon.
weapon type. So for example, he only has 1 melee weapon, so he can only make 1 initial melee attack. The Juggernaut has 2, so he gets to make 2.
He gets to
can
punch
make
with his open
punch
fist
and
or
axe.
hacks. Those have different stats.
Exactly. And then you can expend focus to purchase
Yes.
more attacks.
Additional attacks.
And you can buy as many attacks as you have focus points to spend.
Right. Or rate of fire when it comes to
so
a ranged
when it
weapon,
comes
you
to
can't
shooting,
just continually do it.
right? When it comes to shooting, the rate of fire on the gun just simply tells you how many initial attacks you're going to make, and the only way you can buy additional attacks is with rules like reload.
Yeah.
And those will tell you how many
Special
extra shots
effects.
you can take.
So I used my axe. I want to purchase an additional axe because, that's
Why
what I'm
wouldn't
here
you?
for.
Absolutely.
So I spend a focus to do that. And I'm going to assume that I can roll a 5 on 2d6, so I can boost that damage again.
That's my belief.
No, your belief is that he rolls a 4 or less.
That's my hope.
That is a 5.
No,
Yeah,
on the
exactly.
nosy.
Right?
So my additional axe chops
Yep.
hits its mark. I'm going to boost the damage.
3 dice.
3 dice.
Go ahead and roll the red one.
I'm going to roll the red one because
because we
it's
know
still,
we know you're going to do
still
damage.
a 2.
It's still good.
I do have the opportunity to damage his shield, so it's no longer
Right.
active.
Yep.
I have not done that yet. It's in his damage grid. There's
still some
specifications.
juice.
There's boxes in there
Yeah.
that specify the shield.
And if you eliminate the shield, you won't bounce. So the
Right.
bounce only happens if the
bounce
shield
is
is
a
still
special
active
effect of the
afterwards.
shield. So if I can
Yep.
destroy the shield, I no longer bounce.
That's right.
But I did destroy the arc node, which is great.
Oh, yeah, it's the best.
So I'm rolling 3d6.
You're so happy about this.
That's not a great roll, but
Four.
I do 5 points of damage in the 4 column.
So
All right. So that has destroyed the arc node and the cortex.
it looks like the movement too. That thing
Yeah.
is not happy.
There's not
it's
a whole lot
pair
left.
of arms,
It's
and
just
that's about
yeah,
it.
exactly. But it's just the torso on the ground at this point.
But his weapons are still intact.
Yes.
But basically, like you sheared the entire center column out of the grid.
The torso is gone.
He's he's not having a good day, and then
Correct.
of course you'll bounce.
I'll bounce
back
because the shield is still
a whole
active.
inch.
So normally, if my attack destroys the shield, do I still bounce?
You do not bounce.
Okay, so,
So
in the act of
If you had
destroying
destroyed the shield, you
the
wouldn't bounce
effect
anymore.
does not.
Yeah,
take it.
Yep, because it says after. I believe it's
after.
after the attack is resolved.
Okay.
So
Okay, so my destroyer, great work. Pretty much disabled this light warjack. I want to see what I can do to the flamethrower, which is a very big problem. I'm going to attempt. I'm going to activate the juggernaut, and I'm going to charge.
you should measure it first
I'm going to measure it first.
because you can do that now. You should be fine.
I am totally fine. It is
Perfect.
A little bit past 7 inches, which is exactly what I need.
So one of the things that's going to happen is you're going to run through this guy's melee range because he covers 2 inches all this way. When you do that, when you voluntarily leave somebody's melee range, you take what's called a free strike. So he's going to hit you on your way out.
So currently I'm not within his melee range, but on my charge, I will enter his melee range and then leave it in the same movement.
And so a free strike is basically a free melee attack with any weapon that's within the melee range. So in this case, he's going to pick the
Spear.
the halberd, the spear.
Yeah.
It's a +2 to the attack roll, so it's a little more accurate. And then he's going to get auto boosted dice if he hits.
Which is a problem because his weapon is still intact.
Yes. So he'll get 3 dice on his damage roll. Now, you're a big, hulking, powerful
The
juggernaut.
benefit-
You
the-
probably don't
the-
really care.
The benefit to Kador, pretty much just about every one of my heavy warjacks, is a base arm of 20.
And
so
tons
he's
of damage.
Tons of damage, but that base arm means I can do things like this because I won't care.
Right.
It's just a puny little revenger. You'll be fine. You'll be fine.
Okay, I'm going to spend a focus to charge. I believe this is a repenter.
Yes.
Charge the repenter.
I appreciate your taking the time to note
What you're going to
names
destroy.
and chassis and the thing.
And I'm going to go, so
So you turn to face.
I turn to face. Thankfully, I positioned the Juggernaut in my previous turn so that his arc has the repenter in his
That's right.
line of sight. So I'm going to turn, and I'm going to move directly towards you.
And you can stop your charge at any point once you reach melee distance. So for example, if you said, I don't want to be base to base, I want to be an inch away, you could do that.
Okay, I think I will do that.
Right. So then the Revenger is going to stab you.
So on my way in,
Right.
I'm going to get an attack from the Revenger.
And your defense is 10, right?
Typical stat of Kador. They're Warjacks, very low defense stat. They're just like, come at me, bro.
Is it literally
I
10?
can take
It
this.
it is 10.
Okay.
So, and remember, you get a +2 to your roll on this.
right.
Oh, don't I know it?
So
the Revenger
it's-
has a mat of 6.
So it
plus
goes up to an
2
8.
Is 8.
So don't roll snake eyes.
Yeah.
Now in War Machine, a roll of snakes always misses,
Yeah.
and a roll of all 6s always hits. Okay.
Now, I got a crit, but there's nothing special that happens on it.
Unfortunately,
yeah.
no critical effects there.
Weapons will have crit effects listed.
That's
if
right.
There is.
That's right.
But you did hit?
Exactly. So the P and S of the halberd is 13.
Okay.
Your armor is 20. So I'm going to roll 3d6. I get a free boost because it's a free attack.
Right.
So I'm basically rolling these, subtracting 7.
Yep.
The difference between 20 and 13, and then that's the damage.
Yep.
Okay.
You got it. Roll high.
That's a great roll.
That's really good.
okay.
14.
14. That'll give me 7
7.
damage.
That's right.
Would you like to give me a column?
4.
4.
Column 4. So that will take out a whole column.
That's a from Hell's Heart type scenario.
And
He was mad. He was very angry. He's just like, "Rah!"
so that takes out 2 Cortex boxes.
Ooh.
And
I have one left.
Just one little
little cortex
leaking
left.
chamber.
exactly.
Of Bren.
You really got him in the brain.
Exactly.
Right in the brain.
Just
The
right in the
B-zone.
Majo brain.
overhead
Exactly.
poke on that one as we was riding by. My charge now can complete.
That's right.
I'm going to. Do I want to boost the charge?
Well, Yep. So you're looking at Def 12, Mat 7.
Mat 7, so it's a 5 again.
It's 5.
So 5
But
again.
It's a free boosted damage if I can hit.
That's right.
And I believe your Ice Axe also has a critical effect.
It does. If I do crit on the roll, it will make it'll cause a status effect on your Repenter
That's right.
stationary.
Yeah.
And
Basically, you
stationary-
get frozen in place. A stationary model doesn't get to move or make combat actions on its next turn. Basically, it takes a whole turn to unfreeze, and it's hit automatically with melee attacks, and its def goes to 5 against ranged attacks. So,
I think I want extra attacks on this.
Yeah. Just shear it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Ed Sheeran.
Because he doesn't have a fancy shield that
no
pushes me
fantasy
back.
shield, bounces
no.
around,
Just
nothing
cut
like
him up.
that. Just a flamethrower.
I'm looking
just
for
a flamethrower.
Looking for 5 on a 2d6.
You got this.
Yep.
That is a 4.
All right.
So my charge failed.
Whiff.
My charge did not fail; it missed.
Right. Your charge attack
No, your
misses.
charge is still very special.
Yes. Yes. It'll still get a very nice award.
So his ice axe whiffs.
Whiffs.
But
he's
do
got
have
a
my
fist.
fist.
Follow up.
And I'm super mad now.
Yep.
So
follow
I'm just
through.
gonna
Follow through.
Punch him in the face.
You got this.
I'm looking at a 5. That is a 2. That is double ones. That is an automatic miss.
We're starting off poorly.
know
here,
what?
Juggernaut.
Things are going okay.
Starting off poorly.
Let's
All right.
buy another axe.
Buy an axe, yes.
Let's
It's
see if
gonna,
we-
it's gonna
let's-
turn around
let's
here.
grab some
I can,
different
I can
die.
feel it. I can feel it.
Let's try and get some 5s on this 2d6. That is a
There
7.
we go.
Hey,
there we
that's
how we're
go.
cooking with gas.
Yay, Juggernaut.
Okay, so the axe swing comes down, lands on the Repenter. It is a PNS 19.
That's right.
So I'm
and I
starting
have
with
armor 17.
Yep.
So you start with 2 and
plus
then add
2
dice.
plus 2d6. This is great.
You
for
got
me.
this.
Okay, so
There
this
you
is
go.
12 damage.
There
I
you
rolled
go.
a 10.
What column?
The column is a 2.
12?
12. 12 to the 2. That one's going to sting. Just a little bit.
I hope.
Just a little bit.
Is he going to remember it?
I will remember it because my cortex is intact.
His movement, however, is now gone.
Okay.
So his def is going to drop to
You know
7.
what? I'll take it.
Yeah.
I'm going to spend a focus point to get another axe swing and really
now-
try.
Anything but double ones, and you
Right.
hit.
So I have the option to purchase any additional strikes with my melee weapons. I could punch again if I wanted
Yeah.
to, but the punch is only the damage is a PNS of 15.
it's paltry 15.
Right.
It's mostly handy. It's mostly handy because it has a fist on it.
Yes.
Which is something you can use to lock down enemy weapons.
Correct. And or
Throw him into a
Flame.
building. Yeah,
Just slap
you
him.
literally could grab him and huck him into that building.
there is an element of pro wrestling
Yeah.
There is.
in War Machine.
Yes.
There's a WWE sort of substrate.
Yes.
So I'm going to buy another additional axe, and I'm going to try and get a 5 on 2d6. That is a 9.
That's high.
That'll do. That'll do.
And
gonna roll some damage.
All right.
So,
Damage. PNS 19.
starting
at
17
+2.
armor, starting at +2.
+2. So I'm going to go ahead and add the
Column dice.
die.
Yep. I appreciate it.
That is a that is double ones. So that's 4 damage.
4 damage.
Juggernaut.
Column
Why?
6.
Nobody's gonna want to play Juggernauts now. They're just gonna be so wrong. They're gonna be like, I
They're
saw
gonna
them.
be
They were
so, like,
terrible.
Juggernauts
Couldn't even
are
kill
my
a
favorite
Repenter.
warjacks in the game, despite
Yeah.
what's happening.
What may have happened here?
currently.
Now
That's just operator error.
Is it
That
time to
is
Sorsh?
It is time to Sorsh, and Sorsh
TTS?
is. I'm gonna check. You have Lamentation running on Krios.
Yes.
You are weeping.
Yeah, well, no, you're weeping. I'm having a great time.
Krios's range is
14.
14. Do I?
You are
Mine
definitely
14.
out.
You're free.
I'm out. Okay.
You're safe.
You're not being lamentated
So-
So
right
you can
now.
cast spells at their regular
At their regular cost. So
Huge savings.
obviously, I want to Wind Rush. Wind Rush.
Rush.
Wind Rush.
Rush.
You always want to be wind rushing
Yeah.
on Sorsha. And since I'm out of Krios's Lamentation range, I can do it for a cost of 2 rather than 4 if I was in range of Lamentation. So I am just going to do that and move slightly. And call it good.
Okay.
That is the end of my turn.
Let's see here. Eight inches is a very important thing to know. I can measure whenever I want to.
Whenever.
Feels
The
wrong.
power is yours, Jerry.
Feels wrong, man.
But it feels so good.
Okay. First of all, I give these guys their juice.
Well, not that one.
Can we check? We got to check to see if
not
we-
that
Cortex?
one.
Oh,
No
the
cortex.
Cortex?
No cortex. No.
You don't get any
no
power-ups.
focus. No
Okay.
power-ups. No allocations.
Okay.
If your brain is destroyed, no focus for you.
All right. Whatever. What have you? All right, so I feel like this. I feel like the Repenter is not really in a good spot.
I mean, he's in a better spot than we all expected,
Listen.
to be honest.
I think he's in a great spot.
Yeah.
So now I don't have an arc node,
No arc node, no.
and I can't cast spells through that.
Correct.
Okay.
Is there any penalty to speed if his movement stat has been
He
destroyed?
cannot
can't
run,
run.
and he cannot charge.
Okay.
I
so
can
he
do
still
my-
has
But
his
he
normal
still has
speed.
speed 5.
Okay.
Or whatever his normal speed is, but for those jacks it's 5.
I can do my regular move.
So you can walk
Okay.
5. And an important note, we talked about how Krios can knock things down with his feet. If a model's knocked down, it can't engage things, so no free strikes.
Oh, that's intriguing.
I would say so.
Okay.
And another important thing to remember is that if a model's knocked down, its defense is reduced to 5.
Right. So, I feel like these are pretty desperate times. Actually,
What you're saying is desperate measures.
well,
might
yeah,
be
I'm
employed.
saying I have desperate measures. This is not. I promise that I'm not this bad at WARMACHINE. But I just want to try something. I just want to try something weird. So I am going to feat.
Or do you want to allocate first?
Yeah. I'll go out and put on my stuff. But that's what's going to happen.
All right.
Would you like to move first before you feed?
Yeah.
Okay. I would suggest it.
Yeah. So he has this.
You'd suggest it that way, though, right?
Yeah.
Move this way.
Yeah.
Away from the red lady.
Okay. Okay.
All right.
So
We got 2 on the Repenter,
yeah,
who
exactly.
has a flamethrower. We got a Revenger whose arms are still good.
Yeah. Okay, so what I'm going to do is,
Make the magic happen.
yeah,
It's going to be beautiful.
so I guess knock down there. Because you can feat anytime during your
You
turn.
feat anytime you want.
Yeah.
You just can't interrupt, like, you can't say, make an attack, roll the attack roll, then feat, then roll the damage roll, for
Yeah,
instance.
exactly.
Shazmo, you got it all. You got the whole thing now. How great is it? It's amazing.
Yeah,
So much
right?
fun.
It's the best. All right, so, but I can move 5. Now, if he's knocked down, can I move? Does he?
You can't move over him, but obviously you can move freely and he can't hit you anymore. So does Chris want to do anything else outside of feeding?
Well, yeah, yes, he wants to.
So he probably wants to move, right?
Yeah.
So do all of Krios' stuff
First.
that you want, and then obviously pre-measure anything that you need, but... Oh, be bold. He's stumbling out of that pub, just like, all right, I'll take care of this. You guys have made a mess of this.
All right, 8.
So you want to finish his activation before you move this guy at all?
Yeah, he's done.
Yep. So no, are you going to pop your feet now?
Yes.
So then measure 14 and everything in 14 is going to be knocked down.
Critically important that you
Okay.
order of operations.
That's everybody.
Okay,
That's
so
the whole game.
So
Krios walks out from behind the building.
From behind the
and
tree house.
shouts some inane ramblings about the creator of man and how he's not happy, and everybody falls down.
Inane is a little harsh.
He spent how long in a pub? I don't think that he's that cogent at this point.
My suspicion is that it's not even okay. Now, this right here, I can move over this. This is rough terrain.
You can move. So
it's twice movement?
an obstacle like this,
Yeah.
a wall, a linear obstacle, you can just move right over.
Oh,
It costs you nothing as long as you can clear it with
okay.
your movement. So your base can't be left on it.
okay.
Can he run over it?
You can run over it.
Okay.
You cannot charge over it. That's the big
Okay.
thing.
Yeah.
Or slam, I would assume.
Yes. Yeah. You can't slam or trample over things like that. So unless you have Pathfinder, which Boundless
do.
Charge does give
I
you.
don't know.
Maybe you do. There are jacks that are more agile than others.
So critically important.
Yeah.
Are you running Lamentation?
Yeah.
Okay, I just can't see that that shit from here.
Totally. Here.
So you did spend
So
you
spend
did- you
one
spend a
to upkeep-
focus
Yeah.
to upkeep Lamentation.
Is it just one upkeep?
Yep. This is one to upkeep. So Lamentation, the cool thing about upkeep obviously is Lamentation costs you 3, but now
it's
you
cheaper
can
after.
you can basically keep it going round and round as long as you spend 1.
Yeah.
So
I
get that-
I messed up the rest of my turn because
big
there's
turn investment.
One thing I'm trying to do here, and let's see if it works.
one
this guy-
important bit.
So he is going to move. Where's that the small plastic thing that you have? Because this will help me move past him, right?
The Oklahoma widget. Yep.
Yeah.
God, it does look exactly like
So
Oklahoma.
remember that you're going to take no free strikes. So the only thing you just can't do is walk over his
So
base.
all of my models are on the ground. They do not engage any models. They are essentially just
heaps.
heaps that you can't walk over, but they're not a threat at this stage.
Right. So this is the best. Now I know exactly what I can do, right? So this should be totally fine, right?
Yep. You'll totally clear his base. There shouldn't be any problem there. And I think it's flamethrower time.
It is.
The
It
whole
is
game has
flamethrower
led to this
time.
moment.
All right.
To this moment. Here's your flamethrower template, sir.
So there are two
flamethrower
templates in Warmachine. You have your deviation template,
Yeah.
and you have your
Spray template.
spray template,
Yep.
which is a cone.
And it's used for things like shotguns, flamethrowers, magical ice blasts, basically anything that has kind of like a shotgun-like pattern.
Bullshit. Fire.
So here's the great thing about spray.
Yeah.
You are aiming at Sorsha because you can see her because my
Yep,
destroyer's knocked down.
That's
Yep.
right.
Sprays hit every target under the template.
They do.
You're going to make an attack roll against
gotta
every
make it-
target.
Yes.
Correct. It doesn't hit.
yeah.
You have the opportunity to hit.
Yes.
But since they're knocked down, their defense is 5.
Their defense is
Correct.
5. Sorsha still gets her +2 from Windrush, so her defense is 7.
But the Repenter's ranged attack is 5.
5, yes. So, I mean, 5 to a 7, really, you're like, what does it matter? It doesn't typically.
It should be good. And
Yeah,
I
you
have
should be all right.
I have these two here, so I don't need to boost attacks.
Now, would you like to start by attempting to light the destroyer on fire?
Yeah, let's do that.
Just for yucks.
Exactly. So 6.
You have the opportunity. You should take
It's
it.
going to happen. So, the
rat
ranged equivalent of the melee attack is called rat.
Rat.
In this case, it is 5.
So anything but snake eyes.
Right.
That'll do.
That's a hit. So
That'll do.
he landed a gout of flame on top of the destroyer.
That's right. Now, the gout of flame that we're talking about is a POW 12 hit and a continuous fire token.
Yep. So it will set the Juggernaut on fire. Anybody that gets hit by that attack gets a fire token. At the start of Hiko's maintenance phase, we'll roll a die. On a 1 to 2, the fire goes away.
That's right.
Boo. On any other result, the fire continues to burn, and the model that's on fire takes a POW 12 damage roll.
That's right. Now, the reason I was laughing before about the fire is that since his arm on those big jacks is 20 and the hit from the fire is 12, most 2d6 rolls are not going to crack it.
Yeah.
So
Now, that's
I've had your jack on fire an entire game.
Yeah, and so I have this giant warjack on fire, doesn't care.
Doesn't care.
Swing an axe.
It's actually
now,
way-
typically on other heavy warjacks, it
can
a
do-
POW 12
yeah.
can do damage.
Absolutely. It can. It can.
For Kidoran heavy jacks.
They don't mind it.
Not
so
much.
They
Not
don't
much.
mind it.
So, but I do have 2 focus.
Yep.
So I might as well use them, right?
Yep.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
I will boost the fire roll on the Kidoran Jack.
Kidoran jack.
So POW 12, you have 20 armor, so I roll 3d6
Dice
minus
minus
8. We cool? Is that making sense?
That is a damage roll.
6,
Those were dice.
9.
Yes.
Yep.
So you take 1 point.
1 point on my destroyer.
5.
For 5.
You
All
piece
right.
of shit. Take that. There's no.
There's only 33 more points to go, Jerry. You got this. You got this.
All right, here. So these
This is the
grids,
important
it'll
one,
be
though.
fun. So if we end up jumping into this again and do it in the future, we'll show you the grids on
Yeah.
the screen, and
Yep.
you can see that my little guys have a cute little grid, and then the Khador ones are just grid.
Giant white, like full of boxes.
Exactly. So, but Sorsha's a totally different story. She's knocked down. She has a defense of 7 because she's knocked down. Ordinarily, she would be very difficult to hit from range.
Yes,
Yes.
she's
Right?
18. You need 13s on 3 dice. you know,
Exactly.
'cause- or boxcars on 2.
Right. So I need
right
any
now-
roll that's not snake
Any
eyes.
roll that's not Snake Eyes, and you get her. So BR here. Oh, I saw that one.
I did not like it. So I do
dangerous.
Now the Repenter has another focus. So the situation here is that it's a POW 12 hit with an ongoing fire effect. Now, what is her arm?
So this is where fire
Really
starts to be an
hurts.
issue.
Yes.
On
Because
flesh?
Sorsha's base arm is 15.
Okay, so that's a little bit that base arm.
It's a little bit less than
A little
bit less.
my giant warjacks.
Well, and even it's even
All
less
right.
than Krios, right? So it's at 15. So I am at 3d6 minus 3 is the initial hit of the damage. And how many HP does she have total?
She has 17.
7. There you go. 17. Okay, there you go.
17. Yep.
17 hit points.
And you don't have any focus.
No focus.
No
because
focus.
you had to wind rush.
Yep.
I had to wind rush
Yep.
because
Death.
You love the wind.
Love the wind.
Always be wind rushing.
Always be wind
You're
rushing.
Nausicaa of the
let's
wind.
say, okay, so roll your damage roll and then we'll figure out what. Ooh, that's a great damage roll.
This is a good one. It's good. It's good.
So you're looking at 7
7
points of
points.
damage on Sorsha.
It's going to
right.
leave her with 10.
10 left.
All right.
Now,
And now
Will,
she's covered in flames.
Yes.
let's just say I had a focus.
Let's say you
point
had a focus
left
point.
on Sorsha.
Yes,
So,
I want to know about this.
If you took a damage, and when you take a damage roll with a Warcaster and they have a focus point left, they can do what's called reinforce their power field. Because basically the Warcaster armor in the lore creates this mystical energy field that is powered by their magic. And that's why they have so many damage boxes as opposed to other people.
Yeah.
Now you can spend focus points to heal damage.
How many hit points does a normal person have?
One.
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 So 17
Your
is a
average
lot
Joe
more.
one. 17 huge, right?
You want that.
Yeah. And so what they can do is they can spend a focus point to basically reduce a damage roll by 5 points. So for example, you did 7 points to him. If he had a focus point, he could have spent 1 and you would have taken 2.
Yeah.
If you had done 5 points to him, he could spend 1 and he'd do 0.
Yeah.
You can only do that once per attack though. So if you had 3 focus points on you, you can't just be like, I spend 2 and negate 5 or negate 10. So you can chip away at a Warcaster if you have enough attacks.
Right.
And they have a lot of focus.
So that is different from
It is
previous
different because
rule
it
set.
used to be for every focus point they had, they got
Arm.
a point of armor. But that
all
led to a
hits.
lot of people just camping on a lot of focus, and
Right.
certain warcasters who were supposed to be squishier just wound up not being.
Yeah.
So the new change actually is really fun because it gives you a couple different ways to approach warcasters and how you eliminate them ultimately. All right.
All right.
Okay, so she's down.
She's down.
She's hot.
She's on fire. She's begging to be hit by that Revenger, I think.
The Revenger can walk.
Yep,
Five.
he's got 5 inches, so you can get right to there.
Within 2?
effectively. Definitely within 2.
So a great roll could end the game here.
Yep.
Because I would lose my Warcaster. She would die. Thankfully, in the previous turn, I destroyed his Cortex.
Yes.
So
Yes.
he
You only
was
get-
not allowed to have any additional
Juice.
focus points, which would have made him significantly more deadly.
Worse. Much, much worse.
So you get one swing to finish it here, Jerry.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to work. But do I miss?
You auto
You
hit.
auto hit knockdown
melee.
models. So you don't even have to
melee. If
Yeah.
I'm knocked down,
Yep.
No
You
rock.
just
a melee attack
smuck 'em.
automatically hits.
Now you can
David
if
has
you
to
want
roll.
to.
This party is about
You can
to
if
be
you want
lit.
to make an attack roll to try to hit a crit. But if you miss by rolling all 1s, you miss. So pushing for that crit is kind of a press your luck thing.
It depends on the weapon. Like a
Yes.
Crusader
Yeah.
on crit confers the continuous fire
Yes.
effect. So I
Yes.
might want to do
So
it
if you really wanted to do that on your knockdown target, you can roll the attack roll. But if you roll all 1s,
well, here. So the Revenger is going to do what Revenger is going to do. Revenger's got a revenge.
right? That's his job. It's
We
his
know
one
about
purpose.
this. So PNS 13
Uh-huh.
versus your 15.
So you're looking at a -2
Dice.
on 2d6.
Yeah.
So
in order for you to kill me,
Double sixes.
you have to do 10. So if you can boxcar, which is double sixes,
you got this.
you end the game.
Double 6 is right here, and the world is yours.
Jesus.
It's close.
It's very close.
Very close. That's a
Very
10.
close. That's
It's very
uncomfortably
close.
close.
Here, now this is an important procedural issue, Will. When does a Warcaster get their focus back, and when does the fire damage hit?
So it's a very good question. They get their focus points after the fire damage roll. So if she had focus left on her, she could use them
To mitigate this
the fire damage
damage.
roll. She has none, so she's just going to burn.
Yeah.
If
So-
you don't roll a 1 or a
Yeah.
2.
You rolled a 10,
I did roll a 10.
and it was -2,
so 8.
so 8 points
She
of
has,
damage.
she has 2 whole points left.
Which I have a feeling. Oh, actually, no. I forgot about it. So I got 2 points of damage, hitboxes left on Sorsha. Has your turn concluded?
My turn has concluded.
Okay.
Okay.
So we go to the maintenance phase. In the maintenance phase, one of the things you
Ongoing effects.
do is you check continuous effects. So you're going to roll for every model that's on fire. On a 1 or a 2, the fire effect will end. On a 3 to a 6, the fire burns and you take a POW 12.
Okay.
Oh, God.
So let's start by just seeing if the destroyer is still on fire.
Yeah, the important one. Let's do the important one first.
Get out.
This is the important one.
All right. That's a 4
All right,
on the
so-
destroyer.
He's on
So
fire.
you
Watch
get a
this.
POW 12.
Bam.
He takes nothing. He's
The
just
armor
lit up. He's just
absorbs.
having fun. He's like, look at me, I'm fancy.
Yeah, exactly.
No, he's doing a jig.
Now,
He's on
jig.
maybe on the ground. Like he's doing the Homer Simpson thing, where he's like on the ground, just running around
Yeah.
in circles.
if I fail this roll,
Uh-huh,
Sorcha's
Probably dies.
status of being on fire
Continues.
is sustained. Jerry has to roll 2 on 2d6, which I'm pretty sure you're able to do that, and that would end the
Yes,
game.
he'd have to get a 5. He'd have to get a 5 because it's only POW 12.
That's right.
Oh,
And
yeah,
you're a
that's right.
15.
Okay.
So he'd have to roll a 5, and we've already seen 5s not come up.
So if you roll a 1 or a 2,
So 1 or
this
2,
dark-
Sorsha lives.
This dark universe you've
Yeah,
described
Yeah.
doesn't come to pass.
Okay, so I need a 1 or 2 here.
Yep. 1 or 2.
That's a 2.
That's a 2.
everybody. That's a 2.
God
Jace Green, that was all you, man.
God damn you.
Thanks for that subscription. You allowed me to roll a 2.
Watching Jerry play
Sorsha.
tabletop
All right, I'm
Wargames
shake
as
off this
much
I'm
fire.
fun
gonna,
as
I'm
I
gonna,
hoped
I'm gonna
it
take this
would
fire
be.
token
I love
away.
it. Swallow it for me.
Give that back here.
Put it in your mouth.
Back here.
Kiko. Well, here, let's just see how much the damage would have been. You would have died.
Yep. You would have died. Yep.
Damn it.
Yep.
All right, take it away, Keek.
Okay, so everybody's knocked down. This is a very bad state of affairs
All right.
for my crew.
So one of the cool things about the new edition as well and this was true in Mark II, although the ability to shake has expanded to other effects now.
Oh, shake.
Is
Okay.
that you can shake. So models that have focus points or models that can have fury points, if we're talking about hordes,
And so they both have them.
can spend a focus point during the control phase to basically shake, knockdown, stationary, shadowbind, and a couple other things.
With one focus?
One focus. So what that means is that instead of having to forfeit either their movement or activation or combat action on their activation
Yeah.
and losing basically half of their turn, they can just spend a focus point, completely get rid of the effect, and be fully ready to go on their
So
activation.
say if I leave the knockdown state
Yep.
on this Juggernaut, when he activates on my turn, I can use my movement to stand up,
Yes.
get rid of the knockdown effect, but he essentially is
Right.
staying in place.
Yep.
He cannot
So-
do anything else other than stand up.
Likely what you would wind up doing with this guy, because he's not engaged with anybody,
Correct.
is you would spend his combat action. You would forfeit his combat action, so he wouldn't be able to swing at anybody, but he'd be able to stand up, face any direction, and then move.
Okay, so if there were a target within range of his melee, I could just stand up and
Yep,
just start
and
swinging
just start
again.
wailing on him. And that's one of the cool things about like this guy. So he has range 2, right? When he gets knocked down, if you're at range 2, this guy's only range 1. Technically, when you stand up, you can't hit him back. So you're probably going to have to walk into him.
Yeah.
And so you can use kind of your abilities in different melee ranges to force people into those hard choices where they have to decide what they're going to do with that stuff.
Okay, so my goal currently, now that Lamentation is rolling, it's going to be very expensive for me to try and assassinate him with Sorsha because I would have to spend 4 focus to even get to him because I would have to combine with Wind Rush, the free movement there,
Yeah.
and then the charge, Sorsha's normal charge.
Yeah.
And that would leave me with 2 focus to spend to try and murder.
A person with a huge stack of focus.
Right.
Yes.
And a really cool helmet.
Yeah, the best.
So that is not a great option. So what I'm going to try to do now is try and wipe the board of your Warjacks and attempt to win that way.
Yeah.
So in order for me to do that, my Warjacks need to be standing up.
Yes.
That would be good. Yes.
So we have a power-up phase. They're each going to get a point here.
And then you would allocate.
And I will allocate.
And then after you allocate, you would choose to shake or not shake. And so obviously we can kind of assume that you are going to shake because that will be important.
So I will...
Does Wind Rush disappear?
Yes.
Wind Rush is gone.
Wind Rush.
And it's going to be very difficult for me to cast that this round, so I'm not going to do that. But I do need to get her up and out of danger. So I think I'm going to put another point over here. Yeah, I think I need to take out these light jacks this turn. So what I'm going to do...
Kiko, are you having fun?
This is great. Like,
He's real quiet. He's thinking really hard.
I love this game so much. Oh God, do I need all this focus on these jacks
this
and
is-
swinging the big axes? But I mean, it'll definitely.
Yeah, it's like
The problem
it's like, do you
is
ever want to
is-
think about the light jacks again?
I don't.
Right.
But I also want to think about possible attacks coming from Krios
Yeah,
on Sorsha.
that's reasonable. Because that's very likely.
So just as a remembrance, when you shake, you can
Yeah.
face any direction.
Okay.
When you stand up. So like, for example, this guy doesn't have to stand up facing this way. He can stand up facing, the important ways. And then, also remember that his lamentation is only 14 inches, and you do have a
Correct.
boundless charge, which will give
That's
this guy,
true.
which will give a guy plus 2 inches on his charge and a free charge.
Yeah. It's
And you
just
still have a feat.
It's a lot of. I still have a feat.
It can get very cold. That's what I heard.
Very cold
now is
very
the time.
quickly.
I think now might be the time to feat.
you go.
If I want to guarantee that these light warjacks
exactly,
are
but
going
I'm
to
saying
die.
that in that scenario, withdraw some of that focus. Because if you feat, you don't need all that focus laying around on jacks. These are freebie hits.
Or do I save the feat?
You could save the feat.
I could
For the
save
assassination
the feat
turn,
when and if I am able to attack Krios. I can guarantee a hit on him every time.
He is def 14, so it's not the best defense, but it's high enough.
Sorsha's mat is only 6,
Right,
so I'd
so
be
you-
looking at
You'd be like 8s,
8s on
which is
2d6.
pretty high.
Not great. Not great odds.
Not great. Well, and remember this guy's movement's out, so you're hitting him on
Yeah,
def
hitting him
def
on-
5.
Oh, so one of the other
This guy's movements, both those movements are out, so they're both basically
Pretty
def 7,
easy to
so
hit.
they're
These are
very
easy
easy to
hits.
hit.
I think I'm gonna. I gotta keep one on at least. How many boxes are left on the Repenter?
the Repenter has 1, 2, 3, 4, 9 boxes.
All right, but I only got one melee weapon here, so I think I'm gonna keep there. I'm gonna take. You know what? I'm gonna make sure that this happens.
Go all the way.
I'm gonna go all the way.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go for it. So, is now the stage where I can shake?
So now you would
knock down.
shake. Yep. If
So I'm
you're done
gonna spend a
allocating, you would
focus
spend the
on
focus
each
to
model,
shake.
To shake, knock down. They're now standing up. I can change their facing when I shake, and it doesn't really matter because I can turn when I'm moving. But just for the sake of argument, we're gonna do this. Do that.
Now, one of the other cool things is that if you attack a model completely in its back arc, one, it doesn't get shield bonuses. So, for example, he's not going to be able to
I
bounce
won't
you anymore.
bounce off.
No.
And two, you get a +2 bonus to your attack rolls. So you become more accurate when you're hitting people in the back.
I love it. So we've shaked all of my knockdowns.
Shooken.
And now shooken.
Shooken, not stirred.
You can take these.
All right, I'll put them in my case.
In your pile.
I'm going to start by activating the Juggernaut. He's going to just move his base 4 movement to get friendly and get into the back arc
It's a little,
of the Repenter.
behind the back hug there.
Yeah, I want
Come here,
to
buddy.
get those attack bonuses.
The suplex, that's what we need.
Yes. That'll be another game.
Yeah.
Now I just want to use the axe.
Yeah, let's do it. Bring it down.
So I get a +2 to this mat. That brings my mat to an insane mat of 9.
Yes. And he's only a 7 because you
only a 7
destroyed
because
his
I-
legs last
So
turn.
basically,
If you don't do two, if you don't
if
do
I
one,
don't do
one,
double ones, this is a good hit, and that's a good hit.
Okay.
So axe comes down.
Arm 17.
Arm 17, PNS of 19 on the ice axe. So
+2.
This is a dice +2. That is a 9 points of damage in column 2.
Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That is exactly the right amount.
Oh, so he is
So he's
obliterated.
destroyed. And
Are there wreck markers?
there are no longer wreck markers. So
Really?
previously, when a warjack was destroyed, you'd put down a marker. It was rough terrain.
Previously.
Previously. No more on War Machine. Wreck markers are gone.
Okay.
Okay, so I may have
next?
splurged a little on the
Yeah,
focus
but
allotment.
I'm overjoyed. Listen, this is great times. So he's turned. He's ready to do his thing.
I currently have 2 focus on the Juggernaut that I can use for nothing because there's no targets in melee range. So let's go ahead and activate the Destroyer. Let's get within his back arc to do some fun stuff over here.
Chop chop.
So Matt 9, defense of
12 or 7, I guess, because he's all fucked up.
Yep.
Right?
yeah.
Yep,
So,
his legs are broke as
double
well.
ones
Is
and
it
I
5 or
miss.
7?
It's
No double
7
ones.
when your legs are broke. When you're knocked down, it's 5.
There you go.
So the movement stat in your damage grid has been completely
it's boned,
marked
yeah.
over.
It's
so
the bone
that
zone.
brings out. I
was gonna say, he
can
has
no
like what?
longer run. He can no longer charge. He can no
Just
longer
arms.
slam. And it decreases his defense.
No, and he
to
can no
7.
longer order from the dollar menu.
Oh, wait. You critted on him? So he is the amputation. This is the stationary.
Yeah, that's the stationary. That's the
Yep,
amputation.
yep.
So I hit.
Yeah.
Wham!
The PNS is 17 on the execution axe.
So he doesn't get the shield bonus
He doesn't get the
anymore.
shield bonus because I'm hitting him from behind.
That's right. So the arm is 17.
So just 17.
17.
And there's obviously
so
no bounce.
Straight dice because the damage on my axe is 17, the armor is 17. So straight dice, whatever that is damage,
Oof.
10.
10.
I think that'll be a dead.
That's it for the Revenger.
Okay, the Revenger is removed. Things are coming up.
It's
Pico.
Rev moved.
Coming up, Kador.
And now we see resource management. We have 4 focus on the table that are useless.
Now we see poor resources.
Poor, yes.
Well, don't worry. He's on
Yes.
fire. His days are numbered.
Okay, Sorsha's going to GTFO, as the kids say.
I think that is probably a smart decision here.
And so typically if a warjack wants to run, they need to spend a focus to do
Yes,
so.
but people
But-
don't.
Warcasters do not.
Warcasters do not.
They can just run on their own 2 legs.
And since Sorsha is a base speed of 6, she can run 12. So she is going to go join her friends back here because she does not like being lit on fire. Jerry!
Peace! All right. And she has a focus point left.
1 focus point left, which
So-
is more valuable than the additional focus remaining on my warjacks
Yes.
because they are of no concern at this point.
No import at
No
this
boosted
point.
armor, no negating
Nothing.
damage.
I know.
Those focus are just sitting there
Well,
laughing at me.
imagine that you had missed on a couple of those attacks, you would have been like, I wish I'd given him focus. So sometimes you have to overcommit.
You're a sweet man. I appreciate it.
See? Just saying. I've seen the rolls go either way. Either way.
Okay, so this friend gets a free gets a free juice. 1, 2, 3. Now I can cast Lamentation. I can keep it going for 1.
You can upkeep the Lamentation for 1, yep.
Okay, let me make sure I have the right number of juices
Which
here.
would leave you with, 5 if you upkept, or sorry, 6.
Okay.
Some allocation, sure. Yeah.
So chat, we're obviously doing a lot of pauses for explanation.
Yeah.
These games can go very quickly.
Oh yeah, and they have. I remember the first training game that we played. It all came down to like one lucky charge through a lane of jacks.
But additionally, there's a really lot of game to be had here for this amount of models.
Oh yeah, and that's the main thing, is that different games have different approaches to scale. There is a way to scale this up, and you can play that way if you want, but I like the nasty, just like trenches and
Straight
personal.
in.
Yes.
It is very personal.
Intimate.
Very personal.
I do like to see an assortment of models at my disposal. But I love
cannon
these.
fodder.
I love these close small point games as well.
Some brave souls to run in there.
Okay, I'm gonna do something really fucking weird. So,
Because you said that last turn.
He did. He did. And then he just knocked you down and set you on fire. Not that weird.
Yeah, not that
that weird.
I would call it typical.
now, just so that we can, for the people playing the home game, I can charge. That's a linear movement.
Yep.
But at the end of that movement, I can turn.
You turn to directly face who you charged.
Exactly.
So yeah. So for example, if you charge this way, you would turn to directly face him like that.
Now you don't need to move directly toward
Correct.
them,
You
but
just
you
have to-
have to move to where you're within range in melee range.
But do I have any ability to run more to the side than is necessary?
Yeah. If you want to charge in this direction, you totally can. You just have to turn to face.
And that is not a rear.
it would not. You wouldn't be completely in his
as long
rear.
as you
so.
stay at least a fraction in my front
in his
arc,
front arc, you're in his
not
front.
leaving it.
Okay. I think I know what's going on now.
All right.
So we are going to.
Are you going to allocate focus?
He did.
I did.
Allocated 2 to
Allocated
the Crusader.
2.
You got 3 over there.
And I spent 1
To upkeep.
to upkeep Lamentation. Now, the next thing is I'm going to activate the Crusader, which is my big guy. That's
Yep. Big boy has been trying to play
this
all
one
game.
here. Yeah, exactly. He's
finally gets to have
kept out
some
of
fun.
the kept
Put
out of
me
the
in,
fight.
coach.
He's just been like,
Put me in. So I'm going to run alongside this
run or charge.
charge.
Okay. And
Right
you're charging the
alongside him,
destroyer.
exactly.
That's
So
a key distinction.
So he moves 4 inches
Normally.
normally. He gets 3 more for the charge.
So that'll give him a total of 7 inches.
Exactly. And this is where he's going to be right here. Right?
Yoop.
Right there.
And he's within an inch.
Yep.
Uh-huh.
So that's what's going on with him.
Okay.
Right?
Beautiful.
Now, he is just going to beat the shit out of that jack.
That would be my
That
suggestion.
on fire jack.
Yeah, he's on fire. Don't forget, everybody.
You did spend a focus to charge.
Now, so I get, but hitting him is trivial because
Yes.
he's
a
gigantic.
Khador heavy warjack.
Just
you're,
def 10.
You're gonna have a pretty easy time.
Yeah,
hitting him.
you're gonna have a good time.
You're mat 7. So you
That's
need
right.
a 3.
Now the backside of that, you're gonna have a problem.
Yeah. Well, but honestly, you want to know
Yeah,
what
that's true.
you know what the pianist. So remember, right? These two factions hate each other a lot. So the Crusader, when the Crusader swings, the PNS on that fucking maul, that mace, is 18.
It's not bad.
So now I'm negative 2.
2 off
against
the
that,
roll.
right?
Decent.
Yeah.
Much better than the fire, which is 8 off the roll.
Exactly. So mat 6. So I need a 4 or better on dice.
On 2 dice.
Yep. 4 better on dice.
That is a 5.
All right. Now,
So
then
it's good enough.
because it's a charge, I get a free boost.
Free
Yep.
boost to your damage roll, so you can rolling 3 dice.
3 dice.
The PNS of your mace is 18. My armor is 20, so you're looking at dice
Minus
minus 2. That's a decent
Not
roll.
bad.
8 damage to my destroyer. Give me a column.
3.
Chipping away.
Now,
All right. Now you get a punch.
Exactly. So here comes a punch. Now the punch on there is only 14, but it's free, so I'm going to
you
use
might as well
it.
take it. 6
Right?
off the roll.
Up. So then -2.
-6, because it's 14.
Oh,
And
right,
he's
right,
a
-6,
20.
exactly.
Yep. Not bad. 3 points.
Okay,
points
3
of damage.
points on the punch.
2-1. Now I'm just going
These
to
boxes are getting filled.
exactly.
Slowly but surely.
I'm just going to keep swinging with the mace.
Yep.
So we'll buy 1 attack with
Swing
the
of the
mace. Swing of the mace.
You're looking at 4 on 2d6. That
do.
is,
And that's a crit.
and that's a crit.
But it does fire.
So what is the crit effect on this mace
Fire.
that the Crusader?
Fire.
So he applies
Sets things
continuous
on
fire.
fire. Yeah.
Now obviously
You're already on
Yeah,
fire.
you're
You
already
can't,
on
you can't
fire.
be fired
You
twice.
can't be double
No,
fired.
You're double fired. It's not a thing.
But it looks really cool. It's just like,
yeah. So the hit was there. Now it's PNS 18 versus armor 20. Dice
Dice
2
minus
dice.
2.
2 dice minus 2.
That's a great roll.
6
That's
points.
6 damage. Give me a call.
2-1.
All right. So we got 2 and we have 4. Just one more box left on his bombard.
He's getting in there.
he's doing this again. He's feeling it. He's getting his rhythm down. He's
getting-
like, he's ready to go.
He's
Now's
getting,
my time.
He's ready to go.
He's getting in there with some pressure. So buying 1 more attack. Hit.
On the nose.
Just barely.
Yeah.
The 4.
Oh no! So double ones. That means
0
my armor
damage.
soaks it.
Clunk.
And
It's just a big clang noise, and that's
what does
that.
Krios want to do here?
I think Krios is going to have to go for that Sorsha kill
Yeah,
if he
I
can
think
make
he's
it.
got to do it.
So if I run, I can't cast spells.
Correct.
But
But if I
got-
move,
You got 5 inches on the move and 8 inches on the immolation.
so if I could get up into the corner here,
now, Will,
No. Yes.
can you charge your own models?
You cannot anymore. You
Okay.
used to be able to. You can't now. So
that
there's
was
no
the
charging your
classic.
own
That was
model.
that classic edge case.
Correct. You just be like, charge your own model, because charging, as long as you're successful, doesn't stop you from casting spells. So, one of the things that you can do, and you see a lot of players once they start really getting into the game, is they'll cast spells first, and then they'll charge an enemy model that they clearly can't get to get the extra inches.
Yeah, right. It's, you decided that was just.
Well,
weird.
so you can still do that. You just
Right.
can't charge your own dudes, murder them, and then
Yeah.
cast a spell. It was a little
Yeah.
too draconian.
Yeah. Even for
Yeah, even for War Machine,
even
we're
for
like,
the Iron
maybe
Kingdom.
this has gone too far. We should draw it back a little bit.
Okay.
What have we done?
Well, let's.
Now, if the Crusader wasn't there, for example, Krios could charge the or the Destroyer,
then
and
it'd be
still
in-
cast spells to
Right.
Sorsha.
So even engaged.
Even engaged, you can cast spells at anything you can see.
Well, I definitely want to charge this guy. I should be able to charge along that edge.
I think you can.
It's
see
bullshit, but
All right.
I can definitely do it.
Nope, his front's sticking out. Kiko
So-
agrees, so that's cool.
that. Just for the sake of
So
argument.
warcasters can cast spells even when they're engaged.
You want to grab this edge, Jerry?
Sure.
So, can he see the Khadorn Warjack? You want to butt that against the edge of Krios?
So I would say that he...
By the hair.
By the hair,
He can,
he can
see
see
this
it.
Warjack, and
Yep.
he can attempt to charge it.
Now, the problem you're going to run into, though, is remember, you have to charge in a straight line.
Yeah.
And
But
so
remember, my range, but I
have-
have a reach weapon.
you have 2 inches, which means you can go here. So, I think you got it.
But the most important thing is actually being able to see Sorsha.
Yes.
Yeah.
But you can't, if you fail the charge, your activation immediately ends.
Right.
So you have to
couldn't-
make sure that you can get within 2.
Bounce off your Crusader and then continue to cast spells
So,
because your
if we
activation
do
would
this
end. Your charge would fail.
all
at that
fancy
point.
like.
Yeah.
When we go like that, I think you're going to be just out.
Listen, the judge
By
makes
the
a ruling.
slimmest
Everybody.
of margins.
For the with 5 movement and then 8 and
Yeah,
then 2.
because this is 8. So you got 8 right here.
Yeah.
And then you have to get within 2, which is right here.
So you're going to be out of
You're gonna be
range,
by
out of
like
melee
half an
range,
inch. So your charge would fail.
Which would end my turn.
Which would end your
which would
turn.
end your the activation of that model. And then
Yep.
God damn it! Is it all over?
it's very possible.
Do you have a? Do you? You have. What do you got here? So 8 is your highest ranking spell.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
And you only go 5. 5 to there.
No, it doesn't work.
No, yeah, because you're right. You have to be right here.
It doesn't work. Hey,
I
so
think you're so close, and yet
I know, right?
just a little bit out.
Even pre-measuring wasn't able to save me. So I'm gonna put.
Now, for example,
Yeah.
if you had charged like this, Krios could do it.
Yeah.
Your
Yeah,
look's
yeah, yeah.
always.
It's your guy who is in your way.
I don't know how you could not look at a Kadoran Heavy Warjack and immediately fall in love.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't understand.
So I'm going to put defensive ward up there.
And defensive ward will give you +2 def and arm, which makes your jacks pretty survivable.
Yeah, exactly. So if he moves around, if he's fighting him, can he just move all the way around him?
He can walk. If he walks out of your arc, obviously he'll take a free strike. So it is dangerous for him to some extent to try to walk around.
That
you,
is a
but yeah,
PNS
he
18. I don't want to take one of those.
He can walk. He can walk all the way around your base.
I can.
He can't charge, obviously, because charge is a straight line. But he could just walk in a circle.
Okay. But if I move over here, he can't like move over and charge.
No, he wouldn't be able to move and charge unless he had some ability that allowed him to move out of activation, which some do. Sorsha does not.
Okay. I'm just going to go over here.
And just trust in the strength of Sulmenite engineering here.
No, I need to be in such a place that this sack of shit. There you go. All right. Now we're done.
All right.
Go for it, Keek.
Will.
Yes. All you have to do at this point is either kill the Crusader or kill Krios.
That's true. The Crusader, 0 damage on it.
Oh no, the Crusader just walked out of the lot.
The Crusader is lot pristine.
Still has that new Jack smell.
Dude,
And,
it literally has the new Jack smell.
and is def 12 and arm 21 right now because of Defender's Ward.
I need a judge's ruling.
Okay, the judge is ruling.
Can
Let's
the
do this.
Destroyer,
Can the
let's just say somehow the Crusader was moved out of its position. Can the Destroyer see Krios?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Definitely.
All right.
You're definitely got him in your front arc.
Well, that's very interesting.
Yeah. Once the Crusader moves, I'm gonna want to see that calculation again. But
Okay.
but go for it. Because that line looks pretty raw to me. Welcome to War Games.
Here's the line. Yeah, no,
Precious channel.
I feel like we're pretty good.
It's okay. Will comes in every box.
I feel like we're pretty good. Exactly.
All right, go for it.
Most of the time, they're not as cutthroat either.
No, I mean,
This is for keeps.
Do you remember when we invented the dental floss method?
Oh yeah, we use a lot of dental floss, a lot of
dental floss will do it.
a lot of laser tools.
Yeah. All right, so
make sure
hit,
that this
hit
is
it up,
a real
Keek.
thing.
What's
so-
show me the magic.
Let's teach people about
Slams.
slams.
All right.
I'm gonna get Sorsha back up to 6.
Yep.
Seems important.
Because all of the jacks lose all their excess focus.
They had a lot of excess focus.
Yeah,
You need to do your fire first though, because your destroyer is still on fire.
That's true. Looking at a 1 or 2, one or two to shake
ready.
this fire status. That is a 6. That is
Burning.
Try this.
He loves it.
8, it's fine.
That's 20 on the nose.
like a sauna.
Go for it, Keek.
Okay, so we're gonna do a power up. These jacks are each
Give
gonna
him
get
some
a point of
juice.
focus. I want to make sure that this slam absolutely hits. So I'm gonna put a point there because it's gonna cost me a point to do the slam, and I gotta make sure it hits.
Yes.
So I'm gonna make sure to boost that attack roll. Sorsha's going to. Do I want her to sit on 5? Typically, I don't want to do an offensive spell with Kador.
And remember, you only need 1 focus now on her per enemy attack. You can't spend any more than that.
Yeah.
So that by itself changes the mental space around the focus.
But I
camping.
I definitely want to. Oh God, this is going to be tight.
I want to know what love is.
Because in order for my smash to be successful, I have to be base to base. I have to run directly towards the Crusader.
Directly
is
towards-
that going to leave enough room for my Destroyer to get around
Judges.
to get that? Oh, I've got a 1 inch on the.
Yeah, well, you have half an inch for the slam attack, so you can end half an inch away.
Oh, half inch.
Yeah,
Okay,
half an inch. So
I'm mistaken.
You're fine.
I'm fine. That's great.
which would be
I
right
love
there.
it.
Oh yeah.
I want to make sure to put. I want to.
Definitely want to load up that destroyer.
I want this all going to Krios. And I want to make sure to have 2 on her to put boundless charge on that destroyer so I can have optimal use of this Executioner's Axe.
Just don't forget about Lamentation.
I don't want to. I don't
I
want to
would
remember
prefer to forget.
Lamentation. Am I within 14?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
So I don't know that you can get out and
I
still
can't get out and
cast.
still cast a spell
No.
because
So you'd have to leave one
even
extra on him.
spells that provide a buff have a range. I have to be within 6 inches of the destroyer in order to cast this buff
Yes.
spell on him.
Now that said, if you have her go 1st
Mm-hmm.
and freeze this guy, you really won't have to worry about hitting. You won't need the boost. So you could just use 1 for the slam.
Well, that's a great idea.
Yeah.
So I've been saving her feet for this exact moment. That will also knock down Krios. So the axe is just going
Not knockdown.
Freeze. You'll freeze.
freeze
him.
him.
Freeze him in place.
So that means the Executioner axe will just go right into him,
Right
into his
into it.
body.
Yep.
Slice.
Like so.
Yep.
Usually it's a hot knife through there, but this
Slap
is some
shot.
other metaphor we don't have.
Okay,
Yeah. What
Sorsha
you got?
Yep.
is going to activate.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to pre-measure, see if Krios, does Sorsha even need to move? And she does not.
Mm-hmm.
She can see Krios, she can see the Crusader. She's going to pop her feet. That is going
It's
to
gonna get
freeze
so cold.
both of these models in place.
They
They're
are
both
ice cold.
stationary.
right.
They are
Remember,
frozen in place.
she's got a POW 12 pistol.
Jerry
it's
used
cooler
the
than
true
being
Krebs
cool.
God power and
That's
choose
the one
to
thing we know.
succeed.
Currently, they are frozen. They are
Yeah.
no longer engaging
Mm-hmm.
other models, so they're going to be easier to hit now. And she's going to take out her pistol, her hand cannon, as it says here on the card.
Indeed.
It's a range of 12.
He's a def 5.
Obviously there. He's a def 5.
Yeah.
Her rat is a 6.
We're shooting Krios, right?
Uh,
That's who we should be shooting.
That's how you win.
This is how you win games, Kiko.
it's like I forgot.
I know.
Let's shoot Krios.
Yeah, let's shoot Krios. I think that's great. I mean, he's frozen.
great idea.
Insult to injury. Plug him. So anything but snakes.
Anything but snakes.
'Cause he's frozen and helpless.
Those are double 4s. It's a crit,
Nice.
everybody, but there's no crit.
on the
no
gun.
crit effect on the
All
hand
right, so
cannon.
POW 12.
POW 12 on Krios.
Krios, you could boost this, but you don't want to.
No, I
because
don't. I
you
want to
need
make
the,
sure that we
you need
have
the 4
as
for
many
for
focus
boundless.
on there as
16.
possible. 16.
So 4 off.
Dice minus 4 because the POW of the shot is 12.
Yep.
And that is 1 point of damage. I'll
Hey,
take it.
So you,
just take
you
it.
have okay.
Yeah.
I was gonna say you
Smart
have
move.
the choice to spend the focus, but
I'll
I
take
would
one.
suggest not. Yeah. Yep.
Right, what's next? Slam?
No, she's going to cast Boundless Charge on the Destroyer for normally 2, but since I am in the range of Lamentation,
4.
it
Yep.
costs me 4.
And you are within range.
Huge savings.
And I'm within 6 inches to cast that spell.
Okay.
My Destroyer just gets a little goose.
Yeah.
He's excited now. He's ready to go.
Let's try and get this
Okay. So slams.
Crusader out of the way.
A slam is basically what's called a power attack. So warjacks and war beasts in hordes have the
Charge
ability
is
to
also a power attack.
technically
Technically?
it costs a focus, but it's not in the power attack section.
Okay. I'm
So
corrected.
so power, but they work the same way. So you have to spend a focus point.
Yeah.
Power attacks include things like slams, which we're going to see, where this guy basically bowls into this guy, puts his shoulder into him, and sends him flying.
So it's basically an interaction.
Yes.
And so a lot of times, units will come and they'll do things, they'll hit each other.
see some
but
abstraction.
But this is
Yeah.
this is a different type of
This
thing.
is literally way back in 2004, 2005. What made me fall in love with the game is the fact that this guy has an open fist. He can literally grab another dude, pick him up, throw him into somebody else,
Right.
and they'll both
So
get
we were-
knocked down and take damage.
We mentioned the pro wrestling
yes.
side of War Machine previously.
And
it's here.
And not only does that, is it a really fun and hilarious thing to do to knock a jack through an entire line of dudes and smush them all.
Like a bowling ball.
Yeah, like a bowling
Because
ball.
remember, regular dudes have 1 hit
Yeah.
point.
Yeah.
The other thing that's really cool is that it opens up a lot of tactical possibilities if you use them creatively. And so what Kiko's doing here, using this jack to clear the way for his destroyer, who can then get to Krios in a situation where he normally couldn't,
Right.
is something that's really unique to War Machine, and one of the things that's so much fun about it. So, you've spent your focus point. A slam says that you, just like a charge, you turn to face a direction. You have to go straight towards your target.
So this, unlike
directly-
a charge, I have to
directly
move
towards.
directly in a
Yep,
straight
center to
path,
center.
and I have to get into
And you
a
get-
half-inch range.
Yep, and you get speed plus 3 inches, and you have to move at least 3 inches for the slam to work. So obviously you've moved more than 3 inches.
Right.
At this point, you make an attack roll.
I'm just going to check
Yep.
my
Your
half-inch
half-inch.
melee range because I want to make sure that there's enough room for my destroyer to do what he wants to do.
So you're going to make an attack roll like a normal attack.
Okay.
If you hit, You're then going to send your target flying d6 inches directly away from you.
So
This could still end poorly.
this could still end poorly for me,
That's what I'm hoping.
but it's exciting.
Yeah.
So tell me about stationary and melee attacks.
All right, so as we kind of discussed when guys were knocked down last turn, melee attacks automatically hit stationary targets.
So Sorsha,
So Sorsha has
freezes
frozen
the
you in place,
battlefield.
and now you're just going to schmuck him. So you hit him automatically.
I hit him automatically. I don't care about critting.
You don't care. There are no
so
crit
I'm
effects.
not going to attempt.
So you just need to roll your d6.
So I'm just going to roll a d6 for the range.
You got it.
How far the Crusader.
All right.
Right.
Now,
Oh, so
And
it could be 1 inch.
it could be 1 inch,
you're
which
gonna
would
need-
not clear the distance.
you're going to need like a 4 probably to make sure, and a 3 might get you there.
Okay.
So 4, 5, or 6, you got it. 3, we'll measure it out and see what happens.
So it's the path that
So it's
direction.
straight away this way.
This is very exciting. Okay.
Okay.
All right, let's see it. Let's see it.
So this is to see if I can finish the game.
For to see.
That's a 1.
That's a 1 inch, everybody.
That's not even close to what you needed in any way, shape, or form. Now,
Pharaoh ENS. I'm sorry, I failed you.
so the slam model is knocked down. So this is kind of fun because now he has knockdown and stationary. So in order to like be
status
able to
effects
stand
on him.
up
It's gonna be
and do
very
everything, he's got to
expensive.
shake twice. You do a damage roll that's equal to your strength.
Okay.
So in this case, you are strength 12. So you're going to do a 12 plus 2d6 against his armor, which is
19.
effectively 19 plus 2 from Defender's Ward.
Yes.
So 21.
I wish I could care an extreme amount about this. 2d6.
You got this. Just box cart.
That's 5.
That's nothing.
5. That's not gonna.
All right.
That's not gonna do anything to the Crusader.
It doesn't penetrate the scalp.
No.
So the Crusader is knocked down and stationary. He's begging for it. He is not engaging your destroyer, so you could make ranged attacks with your destroyers if you wanted to, because he's not engaged.
Which would not be advised.
Alternatively,
Because you always want to swing those axes.
correct. Alternatively, you can use Boundless Charge to basically make a pseudo charge, because you won't move 3 inches, which means
Right.
that you don't get the boosted attack roll, and wail on him and hope to take him out and win the game.
I think that's the only option we have here. I mean, additionally, I can attempt to put a bombard on Krios's face, but that's not going to do
he's
enough
got
to
he's
kill
got
him.
focus points and he's pretty healthy. So
So
I have a regimen.
we gotta start swinging on the Crusader
all right.
again.
And now, if you wanted to be cheeky, you can move to here, go base to base, and then he's going to have trouble drawing line of sight to Sorsha.
I love
Dick. God damn it. I've been looking at that crevice the whole time.
Listen,
I can
I
see
need
you
him
through
to
the
be.
crevice.
I need Will to be at every one of
I
my
know. See, I
Warmachine
just be
matches.
here. It's so easy to be the third party and just
Yeah,
like, you
it's
should
like-
do
it's
this.
Yeah,
Try that.
Josh, on the template, can you say Kiko and Will?
Hey, now I've assisted on this side of the tale as well. I'm impartial.
Yes, absolutely. It goes both ways, Jerry.
All right, let's see what you got, me.
All right, let's just start with a good old-fashioned axe swing. Automatically hits executioner axe.
21.
So 21 because you currently have
Defender's Ward. Yep.
Defender's Ward,
Yep.
which is a armor buff.
Yes.
Armor and defense.
depth,
Armor
but depth
and
is-
So
defense
technically,
buff.
he's
He's got a plus. He's got a 2 def.
well, but he's stationary,
He's
and
stationary.
knocked
Oh,
down,
God.
so you auto hit him anyway.
You ate my def.
If you
Now-
were shooting him, he would be Def 7 instead
Okay.
of Def 5.
So you are 21 currently on your
am.
armor. This
And you're auto hitting.
I'm auto hitting. Executioner axe is 17. So the math on this says boost or additional attacks. We're
At
looking
negative
at
4,
minus
I would
on
boost, but he's
2d6.
going to tell us what the actual number is.
So you're auto hitting. You're more likely, the more times you roll, the more likely you are to spike.
Okay.
So more attacks at this point is probably better.
Okay.
But it really depends on how you feel about your dice. Like this is
Let's see. The previous rolls on this turn did not go the way I wanted.
Raise the axe up and bring it down 4 times.
if you do the math, you can do 2 boosted attacks. Average dice say that you're going to do 11. You're going to roll 11s. You're 4 off the roll, so that says that you're going to do 7 points. That's 14. If you do 4 attacks, it's 7s. That's minus 4. That's 3. So it's 12. You technically do 1 more point if you roll strictly average.
Listen, everyone.
And again, the
likes,
spiking thing can
everyone
come
likes
into
to
it.
roll dice, so
So
let's
Exactly.
go ahead and just hack away.
Right, let's see it.
Let's do.
this is War Machine.
This is War Machine. Minus 4 on 2d6.
All right.
That's a 7. So
All right.
3
So
points of
we're
damage.
already on par for perfection
Column
here.
2.
Okay.
So buy another attack.
Buy another attack, swing that axe again. -4 is a 6, so we got two damage in column
6.
6.
Yep.
Okay, I like this so far.
Okay.
Put all the damage in different columns.
Here comes the spike. I can feel it.
That's not a spike.
That's a 3. That's
a
I mean, it
zero
is
damage.
a spike, but it's an inverted spike. Again, we
we
said
call it a nega
we were
spike.
talking pure averages here, and I did say this was on you, Kiko.
We're
It's
gonna
not
get
on me.
one more axe swing, and
This is going to be the boxcars right here. We're going to average out. That's a 6. All right, so
it's a 2 points of damage to the 5.
so not the way we wanted the spike to
not
go.
the way this turn.
No, not really. No, it's, everything kind of fell apart here.
But this is going to be an expensive.
Yes, you've got him knocked down. You've got him stationary. So
phase for
it's
him.
going to take at least 2 focus if he wants to completely stand up. Although, again, with knockdown, because you're so close, he doesn't really need to shake the knockdown. He can just stand up and still wail on you.
That's true.
Exactly.
And of course, now if you wanted to be cheeky, Jerry,
Yeah.
you have an open fist. You could throw him out of your way,
Oh yeah, totally.
or you could headbutt him,
And
which is a guaranteed knockdown, which would then
no
put him
longer
out of your
block
way.
line of sight.
Either of those is a power attack that's going to cost you 1 focus.
Would you like
Yes.
to upkeep your current spells?
No.
You are deactivating
So Lamentation and
Lamentation
Defender's Word
and
goes
Defender's
away.
Ward. If you wanted to cast those again, you would have to pay the full cost.
That's right.
And
Okay.
the Crusader will get its 1 for power up. Krios will get his 7 because he didn't upkeep anything. And then you can allocate if you want. You're going to need at least 1 focus to shake stationary
Yeah, to get out of there.
to be able to actually do a power attack this turn. And then you'll need 1 for the power attack. So the Crusader will need at least 2 focus on it. And everything else can stay on Krios if you want.
There's another scenario where I move up and around this corner, stay out of the range of this axe. That axe is 1 inch.
1 inch.
I should be able to.
You can pre-measure.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be pretty tough with your base.
Well, no.
Yeah, that's.
I think that's
Leave it to the
okay.
judge.
Here, you tell me.
Let's see.
Here I have
You
actually.
have
Yeah.
a base?
I got a base for you.
We'll take a look. Now,
You have a base?
one solution to this
Yeah.
is to just throw this guy into that guy and knock them both down.
Well, that'd be
Because
interesting.
if you throw him into the other guy, so let's see if you go right there. I think, yep, you'd be just out if you
Exactly.
stayed right edge to the house.
That's what I'm going to do. Now, I'm going to pre-measure in this godless parody.
So what is
Of
the
War
what is the
Machine.
speed stat on Krios?
5.
That might be your issue.
No, I'm okay. I got
That's
that's
definitely
within
within
8.
8. All right, so let's see. So if we use the key, we've got 2, and then that's 3. So yeah, he's got more than enough movement, I think,
Okay.
to get there.
Like I said.
Yeah,
So-
he's got it. He's got it.
How are we
Here,
allocating?
How are we
focus?
allocating
If we're
focus?
allocating
I am
focus.
keeping.
All of it?
I'm keeping my focus.
He's keeping all of it. He's
Okay.
bogarting the focus.
We're going for a classic
Jerry,
assassination.
Yeah, a classic assassination run. So this guy can get rid of.
You can get rid of stationary if he wants.
Yep.
Which is the one
Stationary.
you'd want to get rid of because that's the
Exactly.
one that's going to stop you from being able to attack.
Spend 1 focus for that.
Yep.
And then I can stand up as my move action.
Now,
So
you want to make sure that you also shake stationary on Krios.
Yep. So you're gonna have to spend 1 for Krios
That's
because he is frozen.
that's the first thing I did.
He is frozen. So,
Yeah.
So you have 6 focus left.
Yeah, that was the very first thing I did.
Yep.
So, because I wouldn't be able to do any of the rest of
Correct.
this shit.
Yep.
Now,
Yep.
if he's knocked down, on his turn when he activates, he can just stand up, right?
Yep. So you stand up, you forfeit either your movement or your combat action.
you-
Obviously, you want to forfeit movement.
Movement.
Because you don't need it
Yeah. I'll stand up and do that.
because you've got dudes in your face.
Yeah. So now he's up.
And now he can make his attacks. He can make his initial attacks.
Can I turn to face?
You can turn to face any direction when you stand up.
stand up.
Yep.
The dance of death. All right.
It has begun.
All right. So I'm going to punch him.
Hugs. All right. So he's def 10. That'll do. And he's set back on fire because
That's right.
you
He's
love crit firing
He's
him.
refire.
It'll do something.
Exactly. The Inferno Mace
So that's
hits
good
for
roll.
6.
So that is damage is what?
On
So
1.
it was 2 off the roll. You rolled an 8, so 6 points to the 1.
6 points to the 1. That will take out my bombard and my movement.
Ooh,
6
now
points
you
to
get to
the
punch him with your
1.
fist. Well, bam!
All right,
Give him the Robo Fist.
still hit. But this is only a PNS 14, so it's
minus
dice minus
6.
6. 3
you
points.
go.
3 points.
To 3.
Not bad.
Now, so
Still got
Krios,
his
exactly. So
Axe still there. Cortex still there.
so now Krios is running around the edge,
Not running, just advancing.
just advancing. Yes.
Running would make Jerry very sad. When I was like,
And I was like, oh.
you can't cast a spell. I'm sorry.
All right, now.
All right. Does it end here, Jared?
Does
I hope
it?
so.
Does
I hope
it?
so.
All right.
So we're
she's-
gonna try to lament. No, we're gonna immolate.
Just immolate her. Just immolate her. Don't lament her.
For God's sake, man.
Yeah.
So she's,
I'm gonna boost the attack.
yep, Def 16.
Def
Def
16.
16
She
is-
is hard to hurt. She is hard to hit,
Yep.
But
even
easier to,
on normal.
Exactly. She's that's why Windrush is so beast right here. So, but it costs 2 to cast
Immolation.
immolation
Yep.
and then 1 to boost
1
the
to boost.
attack.
Yep. And
So that would leave you with
did
how many
9.
focus?
Yes, my focus.
It's got 3 left.
Okay, 3 left.
Exactly.
Okay.
So
left.
my focus is 7,
So, yep.
and that's the base that I
That's
use
the
for
base for
casting
the stat.
spells. Your defense is
16.
16. So I need a 9.
You need a 9
9
on
on
3
3
dice.
6.
This is slightly below average on 3 dice. You got this. You also have a second chance if you miss. You did
That
9.
is an
That
exact
is a 9.
It's exactly 9.
And it's a crit.
It's also a crit.
It is a crit.
Which I believe on immolation may set her on fire.
It does.
So she is now on fire? Because Jerry is the master in setting things on
I
fire.
bring that heat right now. So
The crits are just rolling here.
it's a POW 12 hit.
Okay, and she's arm 15.
15,
So
so
you're 3 off. You need a 5 to kill her.
5 to kill.
God, should I just boost?
I would.
Absolutely.
I should boost.
Yes, Jerry.
No, so
would.
channel. So understand.
would.
It's like this. So channel. The 2 choices that I had.
Yep.
You guessed exactly right, Travis CP. We're on the same fucking wavelength. So the 2 choices I have are to do another boosted attack roll.
If
And
this
hit.
fails.
Right? But I feel boost is the key. Yeah, exactly. Right.
Yep.
Now you just fucking do it.
Yep.
Because I can always do another unboosted immolate.
Which is unlikely to hit, but possible.
But it's possible. But right now I can roll 3d6.
Right.
Now is your chance.
POW 12.
You need 5 on 3 dice. It's achievable. It's very achievable. You did it.
13.
You did it. All right, 13. Good job.
Good game, Kiko. Good game, Kiko.
Well, there you go. So Warcaster dies. When that happens, the magical link that connects them to their warjacks fritzes out. The warjacks go inert, and typically all the armies run away to fight another day. So,
But anyway, yes, that's the War Machine. I mean, that's basically the War Machine that I learned to play with Kiko a super long time ago. That's considered like the battle box. That's
yes,
the old battle box.
This and the current battle box. The new battle boxes have different casters in them.
Oh, there's Malekith, right?
Yeah, Malekith, the guy who loves to set things on fire
Yeah,
more than
right?
Krios. So he
Right.
seems like a perfect fit for
And
you.
what I was going to say, so there's another dude. He doesn't knock people down on his feet. Basically, you can't stop being on fire around him.
Yeah, he makes the fires burn hotter.
Exactly.
And then
exactly.
the new Kador caster in the battle group box is named Kozlov, and he's very much about manipulating. He's kind of got similar ideas to Sorshin that he can speed up his jacks, he makes them more mobile.
Yeah.
And he hits like a ton of bricks.
A lot of Kador stuff, because they're slow, a lot of Kador stuff is
it's all about mobility
getting
and
around
advancing. Yeah.
the limitations of the faction.
Yep.
But like I say, this is what it looks like. When you go nuts for this stuff, you end
get
up with
quite
a
the
big
collection.
Yeah, you end up with a lot of figs. But I have a lot of other interesting figs, and then as these battles scale up, there's a lot of really novel interactions. Like we both have favorite units and stuff like that. But it seems like it's probably worth it to. It's probably worth it to get this stuff out again.
Oh, absolutely.
That's my feeling. Good game, Keek.
Good game, Jared.
Thanks so much, Will.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you for having me, guys.
appreciate
I
it.
really had fun. Hopefully we get to do it again.
No,
and
please come back.
make things happen more often.
Absolutely. Precious channel. Thank you so much.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks for coming and hanging out. Had a super good time. If you're interested in it, if it makes sense to you, there's a type of battle box you can get that basically has starter sets for 2 people. So you can drag someone into this thing with you if you want to.
And those boxes come with units too, so it's a little bit of a bigger game than what we've shown here.
A little bit more
Yeah.
points-wise, so a little bit more options to play with.
Yep. But alternatively, what these guys played with here are just battle group boxes, and those are the typical starters, and that's how everyone starts
And
the
as
game,
you can see,
so-
there's plenty of games.
Yeah, and
to be
there's
had
tons
with
of game in
just
it.
these-
Absolutely.
these
Absolutely.
battle box
Hey,
models.
thanks for making
Yeah.
a 15-minute drive.
No problem. We're pretty close. It's challenging. We did have to get a couple of Sherpas,
No,
and there
exactly.
was a water crisis halfway through.
yeah. But obviously, it's the hero's journey. There was an underworld portion. But anyway, yeah, man, thanks for going through.
Yeah,
I appreciate
absolutely.
it.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks, channel.
Thank you.
Chat.